Kansas City Sports. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, this is Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Friday, getting you ready for Super Bowl 60. We have a lot of things to talk about in today's show. I've got 5 questions that are centered around this game. We'll talk about the quarterbacks. We'll do that here coming up in a bit. We'll talk about the coaches on either side. We got some Hall of Fame things to discuss. I don't believe Eli Manning is getting in. Now, maybe Eli Manning gets in as a senior player in the same way that we just saw Roger Craig. Congratulations to him for getting in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But I don't think that Eli Manning is getting in as a current modern-day player. We'll talk more about that as the show progresses. We'll also go through next year's ballot, which is absolutely stacked. Like, we are going to have some fun Hall of Fame conversations coming up over the next handful of years. But my name is Carrington Harrison. Happy to be here. Rob Britton is here, taking you up until 6 o'clock, getting you ready for Super Bowl 60. We'll get to it coming up in just a bit, but I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you guys to tell one friend to check out the show. I would greatly appreciate it. And number three, and most importantly, I need you guys to go stop by and see our friends over at the other place. Now, Rob, I don't know if you knew that they did this or not, but on Friday at the Olathe and Overland Park locations, they got karaoke. So go over there, get yourself something to eat, get yourself something to drink, get yourself a good meal, catch the game, and in between the game, you can also go sing 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton. You can do all of those things on a Friday night. I mean, a rip-roaring time over at the other place. All right, this is what I would like to get into. Because I'm a sports talk host, we can only talk about sports, and more specifically, we can only talk about football games through one lens. That lens is legacy. What does this game mean for your legacy? Well, let's talk about this. Why don't we start with Sam Darnold? Now, I apologized to Sam Darnold a couple of weeks ago. I think Sam Darnold earned my apology, and I am not going into this Super Bowl with the expectation that the other shoe is going to drop. This is how I would like to begin today's show and what I think the legacy for Sam Darnold can be. Now, maybe I end up being wrong. I've been wrong a lot about Sam Darnold throughout the course of his career. But I'm going to guess that Sam Darnold is not going to be a guy that has a chance to win multiple Super Bowls. I don't think we're talking about a guy that wins 2 or 3 of these. I think we're talking about a guy who is 60 minutes away from getting his 1. And there's nothing wrong with getting your 1. I mean, Drew Brees just got into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He only has 1. Aaron Rodgers only has 1. Matthew Stafford only has 1. It's hard to get multiple. Just focus on getting that first one and getting it out the way. If Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks win this game, I think we will forever look at Sam Darnold like he's Joe Flacco. Really good quarterback, had a hot run, a great run, but not necessarily an all-time guy, but also not a quarterback that we use as an example of how you can be a bad quarterback and your team can win the Super Bowl. For about 20 years, we used Brad Johnson as that example. For 20 years, we used Trent Dilfer as that example. In the 2010s, we saw that you could win a championship with Joe Flacco as your starting quarterback. I think for the 2020s, I think the answer is going to be Sam Darnold. I'm a big believer that there are two groups of high-end quarterbacks in the National Football League. There's the group that Patrick Mahomes is in, that you think Patrick Mahomes can elevate the talent and the people that are around him. And if you have one of those quarterbacks, you can have a dynasty the way that the Chiefs have. Or on the other side, and I think this is a much larger group of players, you can be a good quarterback that gets placed into a great situation, and if everything aligns itself perfectly, you can win a championship. And that's firmly the conversation that I think Sam Darnold is in. But just because you're in that conversation never means that you get a chance to do what Sam Darnold has a chance to do. That's what I think Dak Prescott is. He's never had an opportunity to win a championship before. We can name plenty of quarterbacks that you would put in this conversation, that you would have in this conversation, that never get the chance to play on the final Sunday of the National Football League season the way that Sam Darnold has. If Seattle wins this game, I think we will forever look at him like Joe Flacco. And I don't think that's a negative. That's not a diss. That's not a knock. I just think that's the category of quarterback that we are going to put him in. Now, let's talk about the quarterback on the other side, because if you were talking about upward mobility when it comes to their legacy, then Drake May has much more upward mobility. Drake May is 23 years old. He'll be 24 years old on August 30th. He was born after September 11th. Think about this. Like, we are at this age. Like, if you want to feel old, we're watching guys that were born in 2002, 2003. That's how old we are now. Drake May has a chance to win a Super Bowl in his second season, a season in which he completed 72% of his passes that led the NFL in completion percentage, threw 31 touchdown passes this season, only had 8 interceptions, had a quarterback rating of 113. Now, say what you want, they went on the road to win the AFC Championship game, and if they win this game, they are decided underdogs in the Super Bowl. Nobody is picking the Patriots to win this game. Text line 913-586-7965. Honestly, how many of you are picking New England to win this game? Because just taking a glance at the text line from the last couple of days when we've been talking about this game and breaking it down, the sentiment has been they're about to get the work. The sentiment is they're not a good football team. They had a lucky schedule. They made the most out of that lucky schedule, and now their luck is about to run out, and they're about to get smacked on Sunday in the Super Bowl. If they win this Super Bowl, they win it because Drake May was good. They win it because Drake May was one of the 3 best quarterbacks this year in the National Football League. If you at 23 years old finish 1 vote off from winning NFL MVP, you throw 30 touchdown passes, you have fewer than 10 interceptions, you lead the NFL in completion percentage and quarterback rating, you go on the road in the AFC Championship game, you then are a decided underdog in the Super Bowl and you win, we will be talking about Drake May as the top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. And we will be having the conversation this summer, and I will be leading the conversation. Out of that Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, and Burrow, one of you has to leave. Because Matthew Stafford is a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League, is a future Hall of Famer, MVP. I think he was the best quarterback in the league this year. But if you do all of those things and you're 23 years old and you appear to be next up the way that Drake May appears to be next up, one of you old guys got to move out of the top 5. And I'm not moving Patrick Mahomes out of that top 5. I don't care where he is with the knee injury. I'm not moving Josh Allen out of that top 5. Between Joe Burrow and between Lamar Jackson, guys who have either gone to a Super Bowl in Burrow's case or a guy who has multiple MVPs the way that Lamar Jackson is, I'm sorry to tell you, but that top 5 pin that you have on your lapel, I need that because we're giving it to somebody else. So that's what I think the legacy is outplay for both of these quarterbacks. Sam Darnold has a chance to be Joe Flacco. He has a chance to be that one-off quarterback that in 7 years, well, we say, well, if Joe Flacco can win a Super Bowl and Sam Darnold can win a Super Bowl, why can't fill in the blank win a Super Bowl? You put the right coach, right offense, right defense, you put these things around them, you can win a championship. The Joe Flacco comparison, honestly, is really super Alex Smith. You know how for like a 10-year stretch there, every quarterback we just said was Alex Smith. You could be Phillip Rivers. You could be Dak Prescott. You could be Donovan McNabb. Oh, you're Alex Smith. Well, the Super Bowl championship argument is you're Joe Flacco. Oh, you could be Joe Flacco. Well, that's new. That's Sam Darnold now. And then on Drake May, I'm sorry. If you're 23 years old and you're an all-pro and you lead your team to a Super Bowl, Joe Burrow, just because you were good 3-4 years ago, you are no longer a top 5 quarterback. Lamar, you did not play like a top 5 quarterback this year. Your spot has been taken up by somebody else. You can get it back, but right now he's sitting in one of those chairs. That is the legacy that I think is at stake for either one of these quarterbacks. Throughout today's show, we are going to take a trip to both Seattle. We also are going to take one to New England to get you ready for the Super Bowl. Coming up on the other side, we take our first trip of the day. We go to Seattle, Washington to be joined by Mike Salk. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
This Sunday, Redfin is kicking off an even bigger game, Daring the Big Game. They are giving away $1 million home in an epic, never-been-done-before scavenger hunt, all on the Redfin app. So watch closely. The home is hidden in the Rocket and Redfin's commercial, Daring the Big Game. The winner will be the first to solve 6 clues and find the $1 million home on the Redfin app. So download or update the app today to play Redfin's Great American Home Search presented by Rocket Mortgage. No purchase necessary. 50 U.S. D.C. Must be age of majority. Visit thegreatamericanhomesearch.com for the official rules.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
The big game is here, and it's time to elevate your game with Circa Sports. Dane and Hughes here, and Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. The big game requires a big betting menu, and Circa Sports has you covered. From player props to game scenarios, Circa Sports has it all, including our fan favorite Circa Squares menu. Instead of picking your big game squares randomly, choose your numbers and place your bets. Download your new bookie today and visit circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Stay warm and worry-free with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Get a new furnace absolutely free with the purchase of select HVAC systems. The pros at Hamilton make upgrading easy with flexible financing, expert installation, and energy-efficient options that can help lower your monthly energy bills. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee, are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Summer in Kansas City just got hotter. Tim McGraw, the Pawn Shop Guitar Tour. Get lost in the songs you love to sing. Tim McGraw. Morton Amphitheater, Friday, August 21st. Get ready for a summer show you don't want to miss. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Parker McCullum.
Get the man I am. What kind of man do you need?
Live 2026, Friday, July 31st, Morton Amphitheater.
Burn it down.
Multi-platinum selling artist Parker McCullum.
Finally got a handle.
Special guests Gary Allen and Josh Abbott Band. On sale now at livenation.com. Parker McCullum Live.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Hey, it's Alex Gold, and coming up on Tuesday, February 10th, everyone from the station will be hosting the Chiefs Off-Season Show, starting at 9 a.m. Bob, Dusty, Cody, C-Dot, and myself will all be in studio and on camera for 2 hours talking about what went wrong in 2025, the Chiefs' biggest needs in free agency, and who should they be targeting in the upcoming NFL Draft. The Chiefs Off-Season Show, starting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, February 10th, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's head to Seattle, Washington right now to be joined by Mike Salk, who covers the Seattle Seahawks for Seattle Sports as we get you ready for Super Bowl 60. Mike, you might have had the best local radio interview of the year. You guys had Tom Brady on your show just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and that was all me, Carrington, as you might imagine. All those contacts I've got, I was able to get Tom Brady to come on, timed it perfectly to be on the day after the Belichick news came out about not making the Hall of Fame. Actually, no, that was all my partner, Brock Heward. Brock's brother, Damon, used to play with Tom, backed him up in New England, and they've always been friends. And, you know, I think he knows and likes Brock, respects him from all the time Brock spent doing college football games and color commentating, and so Brock got that done, and it was really cool. Cool to get to talk to Tom Brady, who, you know, whatever you may think of him as a broadcaster, A, I think he's getting better, and B, he's Tom Brady.
It's hard to explain to people outside the business, but the energy that is in your building, that is around your station whenever you have a big get like that, where, I mean, you know, it's not every day. It's not like Tom has a weekly with anybody. Like, he does maybe 4 or 5 of these on a local radio station a year. That's a tremendous get for a local radio show.
Well, yeah, and it was just funny that it happened to be after the Belichick news, right? So we got him to comment on that, which was great, kind of blew up nationally. But my favorite part of the interview is at the very, very end. If you happen to listen to it or watch it on YouTube, at the very end of the interview, he starts to say, like, hey, guys, this was great. I'll talk to you next year, and realizes, wait a minute, I'm not going to talk to these guys ever again. It's like, I'll see you around or something like that. It's so funny.
Right now, we're talking to Mike Salk of Seattle Sports. So I've been fortunate enough to do this a couple of times. You've done this a couple of times. Super Bowl week is just different. It's different in every market. It's different depending on what the storylines have been like. What has it been like to be the favorite, the overwhelming favorite heading into this Super Bowl?
Well, it's pretty cool. So we've been here on Media Row all week. I'm in San Francisco as we talk. Just wrapped up our final show of the week. And, yeah, it's a weird situation because even though they are the favorite, and I believe should be the overwhelming favorite, we'll get to it, but I think the Seahawks are going to blow the Patriots' doors off in this game, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. But nobody knows anything about them. Nobody knows anything about this team. We talked to Kyle Brandt, who's great, and he's like, yeah, we never talk about them, ever. And, you know, we went on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN. I'm like, hey, how much you guys talking about Leonard Williams? And they're like, I don't know who that is. It's just like one after another, and we get into these interview situations where we're having people on, and a minute later they're like, hey, could you tell me more about the Seahawks? Because they just don't know. They haven't watched. They haven't paid a lot of attention. There aren't a lot of big names, to be fair, right? Sam Darnold is not exactly Patrick Mahomes. so that he doesn't capture everybody's attention. They weren't expected to be this good. Second-year coach who most people don't know that much about and couldn't pick out of a lineup. So it has been kind of a weird situation of being the favorite on the field, but certainly the underdog in terms of the conversation.
It's funny because at least my perception of it, and tell me if you think I'm wrong here, this feels like a high school game where Seattle won the big class conference and the Patriots won the small class conference. If you look at the teams in the NFC, the power that was at the top of the NFC this year, the path that Seattle has had to go through to get here feels drastically different than New England, that I think a lot of people have this question. I imagine you and the people in Seattle have this question. I want to see what the Patriots look like against a team that has all of the things that the Seahawks do.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just hit it exactly. I mean, the Patriots haven't really beaten much of anybody this year. They beat Buffalo early, and you got to give them credit for that. And then you kind of go through the rest of the schedule. Tampa was a decent win, but at that point they had sort of started their downward slide. And then they get a couple of wins in the playoffs, but weird, bad weather, not fluky because they earned the wins. I'm not trying to disparage what the Patriots did. They earned it. They deserve to be here in the Super Bowl. But compared to the Seahawks, beating the Rams twice, beating the Niners twice, beating Houston this year, beating Jacksonville this year, they've just been a better team, and they kind of walked the gauntlet to get here.
Right now, we're talking to Mike Salk, who covers the Seattle Seahawks, getting you ready for Super Bowl 60. How have you seen the conversation shift around Sam Darnold the last couple of weeks? Because, you know, when you and I have had these conversations all season, I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop with him. And then in the NFC Championship game, he throws 3 touchdowns, doesn't turn the football over. I don't think he's getting nearly enough credit for the drive that he puts together with 5 minutes left in the game to put the game on ice. Sam Darnold went out there and outplayed Matthew Stafford in a big game that a lot of people, you kind of got to bend the knee a little bit. You got to tip the cap. You got to give Sam Darnold his credit.
That was the day, right? I was with you. Skeptical, not doubtful, but skeptical all year because you got to prove it. Until you do it, you haven't done it yet, right? And the one lasting memory of Sam Darnold for me, it's not New York. Everyone can say, like, all right, look, he got Jets. Let's just forget about all that. But it's what happened at the end of the year last year against the Rams for Minnesota. So you needed to see it in a big game. Well, he played really well in the final game of the year against the Niners. Then you get the playoff game against the Niners where he really wasn't asked to do anything because they just beat them so badly. So it was like, all right, here we go, NFC Championship game. Can you be the reason the Seahawks advanced to the Super Bowl? Because Matthew Stafford was great in that game, and he kind of put a hurt into the Seahawks defense. And Darnold did everything his team needed him to do and more. And you're right, that final drive, it would have been easy if you didn't trust your quarterback to go into a shell, try to run the ball down the field, and milk as much clock as you could. But that wasn't going to win that game. Not the way the Rams were playing it. So what did they do? They trusted him. And he made 3 or 4 great throws and decisions on that drive. The ball was never in harm's way, and he won them that game.
It's funny because the numbers would say that the Patriots have the better quarterback. But if you told me right now that one of these 2 quarterbacks is going to throw for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, I think that quarterback is far more likely to be Sam Darnold than Drake May.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with the Seahawks defense versus the Patriots. Not that the Patriots have a bad defense, pretty good. And Milton Williams, I think, is going to be a hard matchup for the Seahawks. If they have one weakness, it's right guard and center, and if Milton Williams can exploit that, that's a problem. But the Seahawks defense is ridiculous. They're so good. And you guys know this. This is the thing I keep coming back to, and why every time someone says, well, you know, don't get overconfident, and all these games, and you guys know the games, right? The 2001 Greatest Show on Turf Rams who lost to the Patriots, or the 2007 Patriots that lost to the Giants, or the Bucks team that beat your Kansas City. Like, you know all those teams. You know why those teams win? Because overrated passing offenses will sometimes get beat in the Super Bowl by underrated or great defensive lines. It's that simple. And the Seahawks aren't built that way. They don't have the crazy passing offense, Peyton Manning with the Broncos. Like, that's not who they are. They're a well-balanced, deep football team who has one of those defensive lines that dominate in the postseason. I think they're going to win.
you got a chance to see a defense that has a nickname. Like when you think about the all-time defenses, the Steel Curtain, the Purple People Eaters, the Legion of Boom, like you got to be really good on defense for people to remember you by a nickname. I don't think that this current Seahawks defense is good. Just take us through how they built this defense into being arguably the best defense in the National Football League.
Well, and they think they've got a nickname. They got a couple words and nicknames that they're using. They like calling themselves the Dark Side. We'll see whether or not that catches on. They do have a couple of phrases that Mike McDonald uses a lot. They really like MOB, mission over bull, and it finishes that statement. And they really do play that way. Why is this defense as good as it is? It starts up front. Obviously I mentioned Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy. But I don't know that it's like a one or two person defense. I think what it is very, very deep. They rotate in their defensive linemen like hockey lines. They've got 4 guys who can play on the edge. None of them are superstars, but Derek Hall, Chenna Nwosu, DeMarcus Lawrence, Boye Mafe, all of them are starter caliber guys off the edge. Then you got good linebackers. Then you got a couple of studs in the secondary. And I know he's been in the news because of the ankle injury, but Nick Eamon-Warry, dude's a freak. I mean, he's not Cam Chancellor. They were trying to compare him to Cam when he first came up. He's not. But he is really, really unique. He's probably a lot more like Kyle Hamilton in the way that they use him in a lot of different ways. He's a safety. He's a nickel. He's an edge. He can really do all of those things. And ultimately, when you play against the Seahawks, they just take away your space. Most offensive coordinators want to get their playmakers into space. The Seahawks excel at taking away that space.
Right now, we're talking to Mike Salk with Seattle Sports, who covers the Seattle Seahawks. Where is Seattle from an injury perspective? Darnold had the oblique injury. You mentioned Nick Eamon-Warry, who was dealing with the high ankle sprain. Nobody's going to be 100%. These guys have been playing football since August. But where are the Seahawks at from an injury perspective heading into Super Bowl 60?
Sam Darnold, full participant yesterday, so I think at this point that injury is not done, but no longer a concern. Eamon-Warry is the big concern. It's a low ankle. I just want to be clear. It's not a high ankle. That would keep him out a while. It's a low ankle. He said yesterday that he's going to be good to go. My guess is there's a little vitamin T, a little Toradol shot, and off he goes. And it probably hurts a lot when he wakes up on Monday or Tuesday morning. But yeah, I think they're going to be just fine health-wise. Really, the only injury is their fullback, Robbie Oots, and that's not going to affect them too much one way or another. And the Patriots are reasonably healthy as well. Looks like the Drake May shoulder deal is done, and that's not going to be a major factor in this game either. So it's the way it should be. These two teams should just go play against each other and let the best team win.
Mike, you're picking Seattle to win. I'm picking Seattle to win. A majority of people I know are picking Seattle to win. What would need to happen for Monday to be a somber show for you?
Well, a couple things. One, that Milton Williams matchup is just too much, and they're able to speed Sam Darnold up and make him make a couple bad decisions and turn the ball over. 2, Drake May uses his legs effectively to either get to the edge or race down the field, and a typically disciplined defense ends up committing a face mask or a late hit on the quarterback or that type of thing to extend drives or extend big plays. We talked to Matt Hasselbeck earlier, and he said he thinks that Josh McDaniel is going to try to draw up a couple of trick plays because most teams realize they just can't play straight up against the Seahawks defense. So maybe there's a trick play that ends up getting them. I hope we're not talking about the refs because that's the worst thing to be talking about after a Super Bowl. But, I mean, like, obviously it's the NFL. I mean, I can sit here and talk all day about how I think the Seahawks are better, and I think they are. I think if they play 10 times, the Seahawks blow them out 5, win 3 more times. But that means the Patriots win twice. I mean, it's the NFL. Every team is capable of beating any team on a Sunday. I just think the odds are certainly in the favor of the Seahawks, and I think it's like a 21-point game. I think they win like 31-10.
That's how I feel. Now, you have this being much more of a blowout than I have it, but that's kind of where I am. I can't really see a scenario in which the Patriots win the game. I see a scenario in which the Seahawks lose this game. Like, I could see a scenario in which Seattle is -2 in the turnover differential. The game is closer late. A fumble happens. Things you can't predict. But I find it very, very difficult watching these two teams being completely neutral, watching them looking at both teams on paper, tail of the tape style. I don't know how you could pick New England going into this game to win with all the information that we have about both sides.
Well, and they're both really well coached, too. I think that's another thing I like about this game. Both these coaches are really good. I mean, when the Seahawks were looking for a coach after Pete a couple of years ago, Mike Vrabel was the number one name I wanted in Seattle. It wasn't going to happen. He took a year off. The Patriots job was kind of wired for him. It's a perfect fit. But Mike McDonald has been a revelation, man. I know people don't know that much about this guy. He is, I believe, if he wins, he will be the first ever head coach to also call defensive plays in the Super Bowl. That's my don't quote me on it, but I think that's true. And he manages to do all of that without having any of the like annoying time management, weird decision-making hiccups that seem to really affect coaches today. In 2 years, I can't think of any of those weird moments where you're like, well, the coach just totally blew it. The game sped up on him. It just doesn't happen to him. He's a really smart guy, as is Vrabel. So I think I would be very surprised if we're talking about those types of mistakes after this game. I really hope it just comes down to the better team and whoever wins it wins it.
Mike, I'll get you out of here with this last thing, and you're uniquely positioned to answer this question just because you have ties and affiliations in Boston. I feel like this Super Bowl has been more about the 2016 New England Patriots than about the 2026 New England Patriots. So many conversations over the last 2 weeks have been about Belichick's legacy, Brady, and Robert Kraft. I feel like those have been the storylines that have really dominated this Super Bowl week.
Well, I'm glad it's at least the 2016 version and not 2014, so I don't have to hear about Malcolm Butler and Marshawn Lynch and the 1 yard line and all that, because that's been a bit of a storyline down here, even though there's nobody left from either of those two teams playing in this game. It's just, the rematch and the horror of what happened at the 1 yard line to Russell Wilson. Yeah, and by the way, those stories about the Patriots are totally fair. And Belichick got totally jobbed. Kraft is getting jobbed a little bit, and whether they're good people or not, the idea that Adam Vinatieri is in the Hall of Fame before Bill Belichick, I love Adam Vinatieri. He's a Hall of Famer, 100% the greatest kicker of all time, and the number of clutch kicks, he helped make Belichick's legacy. But Adam Vinatieri, the kicker, does not belong in the Hall of Fame before Bill Belichick. What are we talking about?
I might be the only person that feels this way, and I'm sure this has been debated time and time again. I don't have a problem with Seattle running that pass play on second down.
Me neither.
Just the improbable happened, and New England made a once-in-a-lifetime play in that moment.
Dude, you gotta run play action. You gotta run play action. I mean, it's irresponsible to not run play action when everyone thinks the ball's going to Marshawn Lynch. Run play action, use Russell's legs. Don't take a 5'10" quarterback and have him throw the ball over the middle to your fourth receiver. There's a million problems with the play. None of them are the fact that they decided to throw the ball.
That is my guy, Mike Salk, joining us on the show. He does fantastic work with Seattle Sports, getting you ready for Super Bowl 60. Mike, I hope we get a great competitive game. I don't care who wins at this point. I just want, with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, I want us all to be entertained. That's all I want, especially after last year's Super Bowl.
I want Seahawks-Chiefs next year. Let's go.
That's my guy, Mike Salk. Happy to catch up with him, who covers the Seattle Seahawks. On today's show, we are going to go through some of the most memorable Super Bowl memories over the last 30, 40 years or so. Why don't we start with this one? This is an early Super Bowl memory that I have.
Elway, shotgun. Almost offside, but the Packers got back on. Elway, scrambling, looking, running, diving inside the 5-yard line for a first down. Is he only 37? How important is this football game? How bad does John Elway want to win this football game?
Watch John Elway. He does a good job. He steps up. Watch him look to the sideline here. He knows where he's got to go for the first down. The only way he's going to get there is to sell out. He does it and protects the football.
Rob, if I had to ask you what's the first Super Bowl that you remember, what's your answer? What's the first Super Bowl that you have a very vivid memory of?
It was actually the one right before that one. It's Brett Favre and the Packers beating the Patriots, because that's the Brett Favre celebrates touchdown, taking his helmet off.
Yep.
Desmond Howard, Andre Rison has the deep play. That's the one I have very vivid memory of for the first time. Like, I remember snippets of like the Cowboys smoking the Bills, but that's the one where I'm like, oh, I know that one real well.
Yeah, I would say I'm around this time as well. Green Bay, New England, Denver, Green Bay are probably the two. Correct me if I'm wrong, text line, 913-586-7965. When the Broncos went, that was the year that they got caught cheating. Remember they had the little Vaseline on the jersey? That was the Vaseline on the jersey year at Arrowhead. I think I'm correct on that text line. Please tell me if I'm wrong. It's also crazy just to think about how early the Super Bowl was. That Super Bowl happened on January 25th. The Super Bowl next year is going to be on Valentine's Day. The Super Bowl used to happen in January. No, not anymore. And if they get their way, we might have a late February, early March Super Bowl the way that this thing might end up winding down. Let's play one more past Super Bowl memory. Rob, I do not remember this. I certainly have seen the highlight. This isn't one that I remember.
Now Norwood tries to kick his longest ever on grass, 47 yards. 8 seconds left. Adam Lingner will snap it. No good. Wide right.
There are photographers and people all over the field, but the clock still has 4 seconds on it.
I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm not saying this to make a joke. If you pass down fandom of the Buffalo Bills to your children, that's a form of child abuse. Can you imagine what you went through as a parent with the Buffalo Bills? 4 straight years, 4 defeats, 4 heartbreaking defeats. And then you had the gall to have a boy. And you know what? You passed that boy a receding hairline and a love of the Buffalo Bills. That's child abuse. That's child abuse. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be put away. They're a generation of losers. You've now created a second generation loser. We talk about ending generational curses. You got to end the curse. You got to tell your kid to cheer for somebody else. You got to tell your kid to cheer for New England if you really want them to have a better life. If you want your kid to have a better life, you got to tell them to cheer for the Philadelphia Eagles. You got to tell your kid to cheer for somebody else. How can you look at your son and tell your son you want what's best for him as you're encouraging him to cheer for the Buffalo Bills? That's a contradiction. You're a hypocrite is what you are. You cannot pass that down to your kid. 30, 45 years of just being a runner-up. You got to be tired of it. Got to absolutely be tired of it. That's Scott Norwood, wide right in the Super Bowl. It's disappointing. It's just a disappointing play of it.
Someone on the text line points this out, and such a good point. Scott Norwood's wide right, which at the time was like, that was a tough field goal. It's 47 yards. We got guys making 70-yarders now in Jacksonville.
For sure.
But the idea at the time was 47 yards. Oh, it's heartbreaking, but it is a toughie to kick a 47-yard field goal in the Super Bowl. Yeah, really. It's like an extra point today.
That is an extra point. That's for sure. We have reached the point with field goals. If it's within 50 yards and you miss it, we think you need to be fired immediately. You missed a 48-yard field goal in the win, you're a bum. Get out of here. How dare you miss this kick? We're at that point now with, I would say, 55 and in. If it's like a 52-yard field goal, we're disappointed that you missed the field goal. Like, that's hard. That's a really, really difficult thing to do.
There are some teams, and the Chiefs are close to this team, but they're not like the Cowboys or the Jags, where if you get to at midfield, you're like, oh, we got points. We got points on the board.
100%.
Just crazy to think. Remember when Jason Elam made a 63-yarder? I was like, no one will ever kick. That's like, okay, we see that almost weekly in the league.
Yeah, for sure. No, when Jason Elam hit that, he was like, and then remember, we thought you could only do that in Denver. When Jason Elam made that 63-yard field goal, we thought you had to be in altitude to be able to make that kick. Now, if your kicker can't make that in practice, you probably don't have a good kicker. Like, your guy needs to be hitting 60s routinely in practice to feel like you got one of the top kickers in the National Football League. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to have one of the Hall of Fame discussions of the day. Rob thought that Eli Manning was getting into the Hall of Fame. I did not think that Eli Manning was getting into the Hall of Fame. I'm ready to take it one step further. I don't think that Eli is getting voted in as a current player. I think Eli's only chance is going to be as a retired veteran player like Roger Craig that gets in 17 years later. I do not think that Eli is getting in as a modern player. We'll talk about that coming up on the other side. I got to share some information with you guys. It's going to be tough to hear, but I have to share it with you. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Hey, football fans, it's Dusty Likens. Keep that playoff energy going for the big game with BetMGM. Our Big Game Boost Pack gives you 3 ways to boost your payout on a winning bet. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your Boost Pack, then place any bet on the big game and apply one of the tokens. Make sure you bet up to the minimum stake, odds, and legs specified on the token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. From opening kickoff to the final snap, this Big Game Boost Pack is your ticket to unforgettable moments during the greatest game of all. Open your playbook and boost your potential payout for 3 bets on the big game. Join the action with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards may vary and expire in 1 to 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
I'm so beside myself. This is why. Now, I didn't know this until earlier today. I'm just up. I'm searching around the internet, just starting my day. Someone sends me a tweet. The tweet says that the Royals are making a change to Buck Night. I had to go on the website to see if it was accurate or not. I thought a trick was being played on me. I thought I was getting punked. I thought it was a ruse. No. They are making another change to Buck Night. Now, for those of us that have been going to Royals games for all our life, Buck Night used to be on a Friday. The Ken Harvey game back in 2003, for those of you that have been cheering for the Royals before 2014, you know the game that I'm talking about. The Royals were 9-0. They were at home. It was a Friday night. It was an extra inning game, and Ken Harvey hit a walk-off extra inning home run at Kauffman. It was a Buck Night. You would get firework Fridays and a Buck Night. Now, I understand why they didn't want to do the fireworks and the Buck Night. You don't need two promotions on that day. But we used to get premium Fridays in the summer. You would get a little Royals Red Sox with $1 hot dogs. And don't let them get 12 hits. Oh, my goodness. You can now turn those into a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts. No. They had to switch it. So they were doing $1 dogs every Tuesday home game. And Rob, you know this. Rob, when would I go to Royals games? On Tuesday. That Buck Night, the Kiss Cam video that you guys have seen, that was on a $1 dog night. That's why I was there. A little $1 dog. They're playing the Guardians. It's a good game, good team. Let me go to the game. No. They're switching it. Now they're only going to do Buck Night on the first Tuesday home game of every month. Rob, this is a slippery slope. This is the definition of a slippery slope. We used to get premium Fridays. Then they switched to every Tuesday. Now they're doing one Tuesday a month for the $1 dogs? Come on now. Come on. How much could this possibly be costing the Royals to keep a promotion that we like? I'd rather keep this than keep Bark at the Park. You got to take your dog to the baseball game? I can't believe they're doing this. Can we get John Sherman on the phone? Can we talk to him about this? You're throwing too many changes out. You want to move from the Truman Sports Complex. You want us to help pay for the stadium. And now, more importantly, why are you watering down Buck Night? We all love Buck Night. So, Rob, I sent this tweet. And then I get an email from the Royals. Instantly, I get an email from the Royals. Thought I was in trouble. What did I do? All I want to know is why you've done this. This is what they want me to tell you guys. Every home game, they offer a value menu with hot dogs, beer, soda, pretzels, popcorn for $5 or less. They also got the Sunday 4-pack. You can get 4 tickets, parking, 4 sodas, 4 hot dogs for $80. All of that is great. I would encourage you to do all of those things. I would encourage you to go get a fountain pass. I would encourage you to go to the game. Why are we doing this to Buck Night? Are things not sacred? Are things not sacred? This is what we have. Buck Night held us down when Keila Kaihui could not, when Calvin Pickering could not, when Mindy Lopez was unable. You guys weren't out there eating $1 dogs when Jose Rosado was starting, when Renelvis Hernandez was on the mound, Paul Byrd. Buck Night was a time you would go out to the park. I don't care what the text line is. What are you complaining about? I don't care because it upsets me, because it angers me. If you're not going to give us Buck Night on the premium days, the Fridays anymore, At least keep it the way it was. Every Tuesday home game. Now it's once a month. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. John Sherman, come on now. You're throwing too many changes, man. Too many rules and regulations. Please bring this back. Please.
Inflation's getting to everyone, buddy. Times are tough for everyone. I'll tell you this, I'm definitely going to at least $2 dog first Tuesday of the month days, but I don't think I'm going to be a regular on Tuesdays anymore.
Yeah, come on now, man. You got to fix this. In this email, they said there's 6 Buck nights now this season. There's 6. That's what we're doing. There used to be 13 of them. How much is the dollar hot dogs really costing you, John? Come on now, man.
I mean, we talk about like, oh, what a time. Remember when they had the Hy-Vee level for like $5 on dollar night? It was, you could have yourself a real time at the K.
You want to know why? Because they got good games on Tuesday this year. If it was last year's schedule, they would have a game against the Red Sox with dollar dogs. They would have a game against the Yankees with dollar dogs. Last year, Jack Caglione Day. You probably don't remember. Jack Caglione Day was on a Tuesday.
Against the Yankees.
Against the Yanks. This is just unacceptable. I'm sorry for complaining. I really don't want to complain. A lot of times when I complain, it's for us. It's for the consumer. It's for the fan. HUD told me it's about people. I'm fighting for the people. I want to put more money in your pocket when you go to the game. They hit you for $20 to park. You got to pay for tickets. They hitting you for $8 for the tall boy. Your kid wants cotton candy. It's $6. They was giving you a little relief. They was giving you a $1 hot dog. Not anymore, man. Not anymore. Let's take a trip down Super Bowl memory lane.
And they're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
And watch all the action. Foles is going to sneak over here, direct snap, everybody comes up, and here we go. What a play call by Doug Peterson.
I understand that football is not like basketball. It's not a one-on-one. It's not quarterback against quarterback. I get all of that. The most improbable thing that we have seen in the Super Bowl is Nick Foles beat Tom Brady in a game. Just think of that. You can't think of another Nick Foles moment in his NFL career. Nick Foles has one moment. It's in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady, and oh yeah, he caught a touchdown pass. It's one of the craziest things that have happened in the NFL in 25 years. A Super Bowl memory. The Philly special. Philadelphia pulls off, I would say, a pretty big upset in the Super Bowl, defeating the New England Patriots that year with their backup quarterback. Man, I thought Carson Wentz was going to be good. I really did. Were you a big Carson Wentz guy like you are right now with Drake May? Because Carson Wentz was 2017 Drake May.
I was, and I was wrong. I thought that, oh man, the Eagles got a steal. They got Carson Wentz, and I think he was better than Jared Goff. That take aged like milk in the sun. He was never the same after that injury.
For sure.
He did not win MVP, or I don't believe he won MVP, but he was a legitimate MVP candidate until he got hurt.
Yeah,
and
kind of
then,
like how Drake May is. I'm telling you, like now in hindsight, I know it now. I mean, we saw how the story ended. I mean, in 2017, the way that people talk about Drake May is how they talked about Carson Wentz. He was next up. Proud organization, second year in the MVP conversation. Team was in line to be a high seed. That is exactly how we talked about Drake May, or about Nick Foles, or not Carson Wentz. Excuse me, my bad. It was absolutely how we talked about him. And then just one day we woke up and it was over. It was like a fever dream. Just ended immediately, almost as quickly as it started with Carson Wentz. It was over.
I mean, he kind of made a slight comeback. Remember last year when Boomer Esiason was like, if he plays well in week 17 for the Chiefs, I think the Jets might take a shot at him. And then we saw that week of the Chiefs game, and I don't know where Carson Wentz is right now. Do you?
I have no clue. Rich, I would assume.
I mean,
he got paid. He got paid.
That's true.
He got paid off that second year because we always just believed that he could tap back into it.
I bet he's he's got a backup quarterback gig somewhere, right?
For sure. Maybe. I don't know. People start to not like Carson Wentz. It's one thing. If you're not going to be a good quarterback, you at least got to be really likable. People seem to really like Chase Daniel. So you can hang around the league. People seem to really like Tyrod Taylor, Josh Johnson. You could certain Davis Mills. You could be a backup quarterback that people like, but man, they don't like you now. You got to get out of here. And I don't know if people were big fans of Carson Wentz. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll divert from the Super Bowl for a little bit. We'll talk about yesterday's Hall of Fame announcement. Give me a little bit of credit, text line. I told you the 4 guys that should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. All 4 of them got into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Eli Manning did not get into the Hall of Fame. I don't think Eli's getting in. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
This afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 50.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-990-3434. That's 800-990-3434. 800-990-3434.
When the cold sets in across KC, AB May is the trusted name for keeping your home warm, safe, and secure. From furnace repairs to system replacements, we deliver reliable solutions and unmatched care and professionalism. Whether it's a sudden breakdown or routine maintenance, AB May is here to help. Trusted by generations of Kansas City homeowners, we're committed to doing things the right way every time. Call AB May at 913-732-9993 or visit us at abmay.com.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-990-3434. That's 800-990-3434. 800-990-3434.
In a world in need of a hero,
One man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The big game is here, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Right now, New England is trading at 32% to beat Seattle. A $100 trade pays out $289. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade 100. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Big game coverage on 96.5 The Fan is presented nationally by Tide. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide. Listen to the Royals Spring Training Opener on Friday, February 20th, starting at 2 o'clock right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Now, I know that no one on the text line is going to give me credit for this opinion. And it's okay. Because if I had gotten it wrong, the text line would be cooking me for it, because that's how you guys are. What I don't like is the inconsistency. What I don't like is the uncertainty about it. When I get things right, I don't get praised on this show. It's just ho-hum. I get one thing wrong, text line ready to jump down my throat. That's how you guys are. It's not right. But you know what? I'll keep pushing forward, because that's the kind of man that I am. So yesterday, we went through the Hall of Fame finalists, and I accurately predicted the 4 people who were going to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We already knew that Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald were going to be in. We saw Luke Kuechly added to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Adam Vinatieri. Those are the 4 Hall of Famers this year, plus Roger Craig, but that's a completely different category. That's the whole Belichick, Robert Kraft. That's why that thing's all a mess. We did all of that arguing for 2 weeks for only one person of those to get into it. And more than anything, it just shows you that way of getting into the Hall of Fame is broken, and it feels like it is time to get it fixed. Because the way that we are going right now, you're not going to be able to get Belichick in and Robert Kraft in the same class, and then when Andy Reid is up, it's a mess. Honestly, it's a mess. That's not what I want to talk about, though. I don't even need any credit. Yesterday, Rob, you and I had a conversation about Eli Manning. And I think we are starting to get the answer. I don't think Eli Manning is getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you had asked me before, yeah, I think he absolutely was going to get in. I don't think he's going to get in. If you didn't get in this class where a linebacker and a kicker got in over you, and we're not talking about any of the guys that were finalists also with him in this year's class. So not talking about Torrey Holt, not talking about Terrell Suggs, not talking about some just all-time great players. Have you seen the 2027 list of who can be a Hall of Famer? Adrian Peterson is up for eligibility next year. Adrian Peterson is a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Rob Gronkowski is on that list as well. Gronk is a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Richard Sherman is on that list. I don't think Richard Sherman gets in first ballot, but I would vote for Richard Sherman to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I just don't think I'd vote for him next year. Ben Roethlisberger is on that list. He's a very interesting case. I can make a strong case that he is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Antonio Brown is on this list. Now, I don't think that AB is going to get in on the first ballot because of off-the-field reasons, but if we are just evaluating on the field what they accomplished, what they did, not only against their era, but historically, Antonio Brown should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. If these are the guys for 2027, and it's only going to continue to get more and more competition and then backloaded, because you got to think, the guys that don't get in first ballot, I mean, they're on the ballot for next year. The competition, I think Eli just gets pushed further and further down the list to where I'm at this point. I don't even think this is an overreaction to the first 2 votes that he's been a part of. I don't think that he gets in as a current player. I think if Eli gets in, he gets in like Roger Craig, that his time expires for the modern players, and then he gets in on the veteran committee because people, I don't know, feel bad for Eli, feel like he should be in. This is his last chance, his last opportunity. He's a Manning, and then he gets in. But I don't think that you are going to be able to argue with the guys who are coming up for eligibility and for the guys who are narrowly going to miss, I don't know if Eli is going to get that gold jacket anytime soon.
So I looked this up, and by the way, I really hope you're right, because we talked about it yesterday. While I thought Eli would get in, I didn't want Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame. I was happy to be wrong that Eli Manning is on the outside looking in. I looked this up because I was curious. Phil Simms is not in the Hall of Fame. Phil Simms' accomplishments are eerily similar to Eli Manning's. He was a multiple-time Super Bowl champ. He won a Super Bowl MVP, went to a couple Pro Bowls. I think Eli's resume is better than Phil Simms, but it's not like their resumes are all that far off. And then I started thinking, well, Phil Simms, who was the quarterback during Parcells' era in New York, didn't get in the Hall of Fame. Maybe Eli won't. And after watching him not get in last night, it refills me with hope that he won't be a Hall of Famer. Not because I dislike Eli Manning. I just don't think Eli Manning is good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. So as I looked it up, Phil Simms being out now makes me think Eli Manning, and you're correct, will be out for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I just don't know how Eli is able to get in if I would say the competition is getting stiffer and stiffer every single year. And I would say that every year we are going to argue that there's at least 4 people on the ballot that I would argue are more deserving than he is as a candidate. So for the debate that we've had, it feels like for quite some time, I feel like that debate is coming to an end. I don't think there's a debate anymore. I don't think that Eli Manning is going to get into the Hall of Fame. Someone just sent this into the text line. CDOT, if Torrey Holt isn't in, then AB shouldn't be in either. It is not close between those two in my mind. It is not close. And I love Torrey Holt. I think we all love Torrey Holt. It is not close between the two. Antonio Brown was a first-team All-Pro guy for 4 consecutive years. 4 straight years. And a second-team All-Pro guy. AB led the NFL in catches in 2 seasons. He led the NFL in yards in 2 seasons. He also led the NFL in receiving touchdowns for a season. It is not close to me in the kind of receiver that Antonio Brown was compared to Torrey Holt. Torrey Holt was a first-team All-Pro guy one time in his career and one time was a second-team All-Pro guy. I honestly, I don't think that they're very close between the two. I think that Antonio Brown was a clearly more dominant wide receiver than Torrey Holt was.
I agree, but I think we both kind of know that AB's going to have to wait maybe longer than he should because of other stuff. We'll just say it that way. Maybe it's not a great analogy. I think he's going to have to wait on the Hall of Fame the same way that Larry Johnson's having to wait on the Chiefs Hall of Fame. But it's nothing to do with AB's play on the field. When he strapped the helmet on and went and played football, he was a very good football player. But I could see the Hall of Fame being a little bit choosy with him as they get closer and closer to that time.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to end up happening in that AB's merits. I mean, if they made T.O. wait for a year or two, they're certainly going to do that to Antonio Brown. But I will have the same opinion that I had for Belichick that I have for Antonio Brown, even though their reasons are very different. The purpose of the Hall of Fame to me is not to practice selective morality. It is to evaluate your career and compare it to not only your contemporaries, but historically. And if we are removing the circus, removing the personality, removing off the field things, Antonio Brown is one of the most productive wide receivers we have ever seen. Like one of the most productive, dominant, year in, year out, peak is as high as anybody that we can I'm going to guess if we just did a blind test and I put up AB's peak up against Calvin Johnson's peak, I think you will be very surprised how many people would select Antonio Brown over Calvin Johnson. And all of us feel the same way about Calvin Johnson. Megatron, absolute beast, surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest receivers that we've ever seen. I think if we did a blind test and I told you AB's career up against Calvin Johnson's career, I think you would be stunned how many of you would come to the conclusion that AB was better than Calvin Johnson.
I think you can make a very easy argument that the best receiver of the 2010s is Antonio Brown. Period. Not just he had the best singular year. I think you could make the argument that the best wide receiver to play in the 2010s is Antonio Brown. We talk about those all-decade teams. Antonio Brown might be the best wide receiver who played in that era. What's it called? The aughts? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, for sure.
He might be the best. He has to wait, because I get why, but on the field, he was really, really sensational.
Yeah, because I think most people would then argue that Calvin Johnson was that quarterback or was that wide receiver. And I think that's what most people will argue. And I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. I certainly think you can argue that it was Antonio Brown. I'm trying to look at their numbers side by side. Goodness gracious, Antonio Brown was just an absolute. He was a dog. There really ain't no other way. There really isn't another way to put it. Antonio Brown had more receiving yards than Calvin Johnson had. He had more catches than he had. They had as many touchdowns. I'm telling you, I think you guys will be stunned how good Antonio Brown was as a wide receiver. Let's get back to the Super Bowl coming up on the other side. We talked about the quarterbacks earlier in the show. Why don't we talk about the coaches? We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Hey, it's Pat Boyle with a Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. New England and Seattle in a matchup that nobody predicted, and I feel like I'm in the minority of people picking New England to not only cover, but win the game. New England's QB has struggled so far throughout the postseason. There's no denying that. But he put together a near MVP regular season, and I don't care who it came against. There's something to be said about playing 3 straight top 5 defenses in the playoffs and then having 2 weeks to prepare for another elite defense. On top of that, New England's defense is not getting the same love as Seattle, which I think is wrong. There's that old adage, peaking at the right time. New England is about as fundamentally sound as they come, and what I'm projecting as a low-scoring game, that'll make all the difference. I like New England to not only cover, but win. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
This Sunday, Redfin is kicking off an even bigger game, Daring the Big Game. They are giving away a $1 million home in an epic, never-been-done-before scavenger hunt, all on the Redfin app. So watch closely. The home is hidden in the Rocket and Redfin's commercial, Daring the Big Game. The winner will be the first to solve 6 clues and find the $1 million home on the Redfin app. So download or update the app today to play Redfin's Great American Home Search presented by Rocket Mortgage. No purchase necessary. 50 U.S. D.C. Must be age of majority. Visit thegreatamericanhomesearch.com for the official rules.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed. Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
Hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is
Just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed. Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
Hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Thank you for a great 2025 and promise to continue giving you reason to shop at Shawnee Mission Ford in 2026. Great selection of new and used vehicles, large discount, top trade allowance, and mobile service when you need it. There's no reason to go anywhere else. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more in 26.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, two-car crash now, 71 northbound, just past 75th. It is the center lane blocked. Best bet, let's scoot to the right. I think they will close the left lane as well, so scoot to the right. That's what's moving, 71 northbound, past 75th. Also, downtown still working the stall with the right lane closed, 70 eastbound at Brooklyn. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
We're going to get to the coaches in the Super Bowl here coming up in a little bit, but we are going through some all-time memories in Super Bowl history. You guys certainly remember this one.
Final play of the game in regulation. It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he cannot. Mike Jones made the tackle. And the Rams have won the Super Bowl.
An all-time Super Bowl between the Rams and the Titans. The Rams win the Super Bowl that year. So let's talk about the coaches in this year's Super Bowl. Now, I understand why we are not doing it, and I feel like that part of the country, the Pacific Northwest, they just get a little bit disrespected and overlooked. But right now, they have a coach who is 38 years old. These are the coaches who have won a Super Bowl before turning the age of 40. Sean McVay was 36 years old when he won a Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin was 36 years old when the Steelers won a Super Bowl. John Gruden was 39 years old when he won the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. If Mike Macdonald wins the Super Bowl, he is going to be one of the youngest coaches ever to win the Super Bowl. I do think this. If Mike Macdonald was an offensive mind, I think we would talk about him drastically different. I think we'd look at him as a whiz kid, but I think it's because he's a defensive mind in a offensive-minded league. I don't think he's getting the credit, respect, accolades that he deserves. If there was an offensive mind who, over the last 6 seasons, went from being a linebacker coach with the Ravens, was the defensive coordinator at Michigan, went back to the Ravens to take over as a defensive coordinator for a couple of years, and has now been a head coach for Seattle. He is 24-10 in the regular season and has his team in the Super Bowl in his second year of head coaching and is 38 years old. If that was an offensive-minded head coach, we would call that guy a genius. You want to know how I know? We do that with Kyle Shanahan. You want to know how I know? We do that with Sean McVay. There is a defensive-minded coach that is doing very similar things right now in Seattle, and in 2 seasons has built, from a statistical standpoint, the number 1 ranked defense in the National Football League, and they are taking Sam Darnold to the Super Bowl. Mike Macdonald is next up. The same way that McVay was next up and Kyle Shanahan was next up, he is absolutely next up. So that's on one side of it, Mike Macdonald and the amazing job that he has done with the Seattle Seahawks. The other side of it is, and I think we're all guilty of this, sometimes as fans, and I think front office, they just want change for the sake of change. Mike Vrabel wasn't winning Super Bowls, wasn't winning their division every single year, but I think pretty clearly was one of the top 10 coaches in the National Football League. They made the decision to move on from Mike Vrabel and start fresh, start anew. I don't know why. It was always very obvious to me that he was one of the better coaches in the National Football League. He took that team to the playoffs for 3 consecutive years. They went to an AFC championship game. I would say that he outperformed expectations in Tennessee. Sure, he fell on a couple of tough years. They went 7-10, then they went 6-11, and then they do what teams do. They overreact. They fired him. He took a year off, sat back, kind of surveyed the landscape a little bit. Shockingly enough, he got a good job with the good quarterback. He wins 14 games. They go 3-0 in the postseason. They find themselves in the Super Bowl. I don't think any of us ever question Mike Vrabel's ability to coach. We know how good of a coach that he is. I think a lot of times these teams, I think they get trigger happy. I think they hear social media. I think they hear sports talk radio. They hear that fans are upset and grumbling, and they want to do something different. Mike Vrabel should have never been let go as the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Should have never been let go. They've already fired his replacement. Think about that. They let Mike Vrabel go. They fired his replacement while he sat out for a year and is now taking another team to a Super Bowl. It should have never come to this with Mike Vrabel. We all knew. So from a coaching perspective, I mean, 2 different kinds of coaches, even though they're both defensive-minded coaches. One looks like he could be a potential whiz kid. 38 years old, defensive-minded whiz kid. And then on the other side, it's Mike Vrabel, who obviously is going to be around a while. He's only 50 years old. I would say he has a dream job in some ways. You played for this organization. You know this organization. You're with one of the best ownership groups, best families in the National Football League. So Vrabel's going to be there for a while. You got your offensive coordinator who is never taking another head coaching job. You're one of the best defensive minds in the National Football League. You got your quarterback in place. You got a great ownership group. No reason to think this Patriots team can't go on a little bit of a run. I'm not saying they're going on a Chiefs run. They're going to be the next dynasty or so. But the Patriots are absolutely going to be a franchise that in Kansas City we are going to keep talking about, that either you are going there for a playoff game or they are coming here to Kansas City for a playoff game.
Let me ask you this about Mike Vrabel and the Titans more specifically. Isn't this highlight something that we've talked about a lot on this show this week? And that's that ownership and organization matters. Like, the Titans had a great head coach. I don't think Mike Vrabel's the best head coach in the NFL, but I think we can safely say he is a great head coach. They had him in the fold. They had relative lean years, and they quit. Doesn't that just highlight that bad organizations do bad things and good ones do good things? Because the Patriots, they had 3 lean years. Couple bad Belichick years, and then a really bad Gerard Mayo year, and now they're back, and that's what good organizations do. Done this to me, and maybe it's just me, I don't want to speak for you, it just highlights that good organizations do smart things and bad ones do bad things. Because you know why Seattle's back? They made a really good hire head coach who will probably be there for the next 15 years who wants to be. And you know what the Patriots did? They made a good hire head coach because the Titans dumbly fired theirs. This just continues to highlight that smart organizations, well-run organizations, ownership matters in the NFL. And it's the part we never talk about, but it really matters.
And you know what's funny about it? You know who the Titans hired this year? Mike Vrabel. That's who they went to go hire.
Yep.
They went to go hire Mike Vrabel. They went with the offensive-minded head coach. It failed. And in less than a year and a half, they brought in a really talented defensive coordinator. That's who you had. That's who you had. Who you would love to have the same success that Mike Vrabel had on the sidelines at Tennessee. You would love to have that guy. You're telling me right now they wouldn't take 3 straight years of making the postseason. He was the head coach for 6 years. They won the division. It's not like Tennessee ever had a great quarterback. It's not like we think he squandered a great quarterback. You gave him Ryan Tannehill and an all Hall of Fame offensive player in Derrick Henry. They just made the rest of it work. I feel like Mike Vrabel deserves a lot more credit than what he got. I think more than anything, I really think there's just a lot of pressure on the outside to just make a change. You know, fan bases start yelling, they start screaming, we want to change, we want to do something different, and I just feel like teams kind of give in to that pressure. You should have never gave into the pressure with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel was then ready to sit out a year. I don't need to rush to get a job. I know I'll get the job that I really want that puts me in a position to go get success. Anytime other teams are happy when you let a coach go and they can't wait to pounce on it, that should give you a little bit of pause for concern. You know, that should give you a little bit of, hold on, hey, maybe we're making the wrong decision here in what we're doing. The fact that we let somebody go and then they instantly move to number 1 in the coaching search to tell us maybe we are doing a bad job. And I don't think anybody could argue that Tennessee got a better head coaching situation than what they would have had if they had just stayed with Mike Vrabel. They'd be in a better spot today.
Now, as for Mike Macdonald, if he wins, do we have to talk about him? Like you mentioned at the start of the show, hey, if Drake May wins, he becomes a top 5 quarterback, this conversation is coming.
Yes.
Is that conversation going with Mike Macdonald?
Yes.
Because you mentioned the list of guys who are 30-somethings who won the Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin's probably going to be a Hall of Fame one day. John Gruden, I don't think he will be, but he was on path to be in the Hall of Fame. And then, like, Sean McVay's on the path. Like, Mike Macdonald's going to be talked about like one of those type of guys and is going to be viewed as a real problem in Seattle for a long time.
Absolutely, and he should be. But he absolutely will. I mean, no disrespect to Sean Payton. Man, that Super Bowl you won was a long time ago. How much credit are you going to keep getting for winning the Super Bowl in 2011 while guys are winning it now, today? Mike Tomlin, out of the league. Like, in the same way that right now the league has to turn over quarterbacks to have Super Bowls, right now it's Mahomes has one, Rodgers has one, that's about it. Jalen Hurts got one. There aren't a lot of current quarterbacks in the league that have championships. I'm about to add one, but there's not a lot current. There's also not a lot of head coaches that currently have one either. So I think you're right. As we're turning over the league from a coach and quarterback, the league is certainly getting younger. Teams are more willing to take a chance on a 38-year-old, 39-year-old head coach and give them an opportunity. You'll get these guys like Mike Macdonald that I think has shown you I'm one of the best young defensive minds in the National Football League. Look at what I've been able to do. We don't look at Seattle thinking they have some superstar on defense. They don't have they don't have a Myles Garrett kind of player that's at the center of this thing. This is scheme. This is drafting well. This is getting the most out of the talent that you have. He deserves a lot of credit for what they've built.
And I will tell you, this is why I hate when people are like, oh, so-and-so won the press conference. Because, now listen, we cover the NFL, but we don't really dive deep into each hire and how it means. But I don't remember thinking at the time like, oh, man, Seattle got Mike Macdonald. Watch out. I don't think it was ripple effects. Now, when the Patriots got Vrabel, it was that because we all knew about Vrabel. But when Macdonald got hired by the Seahawks, this was not some can you believe they got that guy type of thing. I don't remember anything about his press conference. I know nothing about him at the time. And now he might be next up for the best coach in the NFL. Like, that's why I think sometimes we get too caught up in name and what they say and can they create a culture. Like, sometimes finding the right guy doesn't come with a lot of wow factor, but that doesn't mean it's not a wow move when it happens.
Sometimes it's hard for me to know if we can trust the information that we find on the internet. So I was searching around the internet, just trying to get ready for the show, and I just typed in Super Bowl foods, just Super Bowl foods. Just curious, what are people eating? What are people snacking on? Like, what are you planning on doing? So I went to this website, and it had most searched Super Bowl snacks in each state. See the list. And I'm like, of course, this is my kind of list. This is great for the show. And then I started scrolling around. And I went to Missouri. The most searched for Super Bowl snack in Missouri is buffalo chicken dip because, of course, it's amazing. It might be the number 1 overall pick in the dip draft. It's not the best thing for the Super Bowl. That's probably chicken wings, maybe a little pizza, a little slider. But you know what? Who doesn't love a good homemade buffalo chicken dip? I eat pizza all the time for football games. I eat wings all the time. You know what I don't get enough while I'm watching Chiefs Vikings in a week 9? A good homemade buffalo chicken dip. Then I scrolled over to Kansas. Rob, just take one guess. We don't got to play Family Feud here. Let's just take one guess. What do you think, according to this survey, it is on livenowfox.com, very reputable website and news outlet. What do you think is the most searched popular Super Bowl snack in the state of Kansas?
I mean, it's gonna be something weird. You're not asking if it's Rotel.
I'm just asking a question.
Chicken
here.
wings.
I'm doing my job and trying to generate topics. What do you think in the state of Kansas is the most searched Super Bowl snack according to livenowfox.com? Fair and balanced.
I'm just gonna hope chicken wings. Give me chicken wings.
Crab rangoon.
Hey, that ain't bad. That's not as bad as I thought it could be.
What do y'all got going on over there?
You don't like a nice crab rangoon?
I've never once in my life been to a sports viewing party. Not once. Not for anything. Not for a fight. Not for March Madness. Not for a football game. No one has ever invited me over to their home and had crab rangoon that was not associated with takeout Chinese food. Are you making the crab rangoon? Are we getting homemade crab rangoon? Rob, come on now. I imagine you're going to watch the Super Bowl in the state of Kansas. I never have. Not one Super Bowl in my lifetime have I ever watched it in the state of Kansas. You were telling me
Wait, really?
Not once. I try not to associate with people that live over there.
The Chiefs live over there.
Okay, that was a good one. I'll give you that one. That was a good one. Not yet. That was a good one, though. Crab rangoon? Text line, 913-586-7965. Who's serving crab rangoon at the function this weekend? What? How? I've never seen anybody make it before, to be completely frank with you. Can you make it? Can Caroline make this?
We can't, but it's not. I don't think it's that hard. You just gotta, it's crab, cream cheese, wrap it in a wonton, deep fry it, dip it in sweet and sour sauce. Bing, bang, boom.
Somebody on the text line says, C-Dot, you got to try the crab rangoon pizza from Old Shiny Pizza. It's incredible. I don't even know if I can say if this is two Americas. Absolutely not.
I've had crab rangoon pizza.
Absolutely not.
Also, crab rangoon dip. Does that count? Crab rangoon dip is fire.
I've never had that before.
You've never had crab rangoon dip?
No.
It's like the inside of a crab rangoon.
I can put two and two together. I just don't think that's no is the answer. Crab rangoon pizza. People are ordering that.
I mean, it's not my go-to.
I'm simple,
pizza.
bro. I'm simple. Have you ever read like magazines and they have all these like wild positions? You're like, I'm not trying any of this. Let's just go standard here. That's what I am when it comes to pizza. Let's just go standard here. White sauce, fettuccine, Alfredo. I don't need that on my pizza. Give me regular tomato, cheese, and let's just do some standard toppings. A little bacon maybe, a little chicken if I'm feeling frisky, a little pepperoni, a little sausage. Maybe we want to get crazy, put a little veggies on there, a little mushroom, a little green peppers. What are we? Crab rangoon pizza? So you're telling me I'm getting a bad pizza and bad Chinese food in one meal? I'm not signing up for that. If you want to get Chinese food, let's just get Chinese food. If you want to get pizza, let's just get pizza. But please do not show up to the function. Please do not show up ready to watch Seahawks and Patriots with crab rangoon pizza. I'm asking you to leave the premises immediately.
I agree with you. Crab rangoon is a weird answer for Kansas. I just don't think it's a wrong answer. A nice crab rangoon or a crab rangoon dip, it's not my first choice at a Super Bowl party, but it's not a bad choice at a Super Bowl party.
Okay.
You're a very adventurous eater, so I'm not surprised you're not doing this.
Pizza?
You're not.
I'm just saying, pizza is not meant to be an adventurous food.
Yes, it is.
Pizza?
Yes. You got to get adventurous with it.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, any food that a 6-year-old would say that's my favorite kind of food is not meant to be adventurous. If you were telling me that you and a 6-year-old have the same favorite kind of food, you know what? Stick to the basics. That's the problem. People don't want to stick to the basics. Cheese, meat, a couple of veggies, let's get it going. If you really want to get crazy, put a little pineapple. Crab Rangoon? Absolutely not. Please don't invite me to the function.
For someone that raves about Pizza Shuttle's cream cheese and
I
bacon
do love a
pizza,
cream cheese pizza. Don't get me wrong.
it's the same.
Hey, hold on now. We're not gonna talk disrespectful about the cream cheese pizza from Pizza Shuttle, because I love the cream cheese pizza. Bro, there's no chance you're showing up to the function with Crab Rangoon pizza. There's no chance.
I wouldn't show up to the function with it, but if I was at an event and it was there, I wouldn't be upset it's there. I wouldn't be kicking people out of my party.
That's a last-ditch effort. I'm telling you right now. So let's say at our job, I assume everybody's job is this way. Your job provides food. Your job provides lunch for everybody. If you got all the regular pizzas there, and then you got those exotic pizzas that you like, I guarantee you the regular pizzas are getting devoured first.
Well, that is such an unfair metric.
I'm just telling you, because nobody wants those. Because why am I getting the hamburger, cheeseburger? It's got pickles and onions, and I don't need all that on my pizza. Just give me sausage. Just give me pep. Just give me supreme. Fettuccine, white sauce. That's too much. That's what it is. It's too much. It's absolutely too much. It's out of bounds. It's a flagrant 2 foul, ejected from the game. Let's go back in time.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree. Inside the 25 and a timeout taken.
I think you could argue that's the greatest sports play of our lifetime. Like, if we were making a short list in our lifetime, what is the Mount Rushmore of plays? I think you can argue the David Tyree helmet catch is number one. David Tyree helmet catch, I'm going just off the top of my head. David Tyree helmet catch, kick 6, Auburn, Alabama, LeBron's block on Andre Iguodala in the NBA Finals.
Chris Jenkins shot?
Well, it's just like a regular shot.
I mean, it's for the title.
No, for sure. I feel like Tiger Woods has one golf shot in there that's just like, I don't know how you did that. I don't know how you did that. What tournament was that? Was that the U.S. Open when the like Nike logo just sits there for a little bit and the ball rolls into the hole?
That's the Masters. Yeah, the Masters.
Yeah. That might be on there. I'm saying Tiger probably has one moment that over the last of our lifetime, we're just sitting there. There's no human being ever that could have made this shot. I think that might be the list. I feel very strongly about those three. If we were going our lifetime, David Tyree helmet catch, LeBron block on Andre Iguodala, kick 6 Auburn, Alabama, and I feel like 4 is kind of up for grabs. What else would even be in the conversation for 4?
I do think the Chris Jenkins shot, just because of the magnitude of the moments, probably in the conversation.
Somebody said the Malcolm Butler interception. That's high up there.
That's pretty high.
I actually would listen to the Malcolm Butler or the Edelman catch in the Super Bowl. Those are 2 really, really good ones if we're talking about one single play that I think is on our Mount Rushmore. This is the most incredible play that's happened during our life.
Yeah. We haven't had a walk-off in the World Series.
Someone said Jeter's play at the plate against the Oakland A's. I know you're not saying that one.
That's a great play, but like a divisional series game is the most iconic. It might be the most iconic baseball play.
You think so?
In our lifetime, has there been like a Joe Carter walk-off for the World Series? Not really. So, yeah,
I got to think about it. I don't know if that Jeter one's number 1, though. I got to really think about it, though.
Jeter diving into the stands, maybe?
I got to really think about it. Somebody said Jordan's final shot against the Utah Jazz. That's a really good one.
Someone mentioned Darren Peterson's shot. That's definitely on the list.
Okay. See, this is what
Good job, text line. Thank you.
We're having good conversations. I mean, you were getting along. We're going back and forth. And then you just got to throw some nonsense into the mix. Why do you do this? Why do you sabotage our show? This is why we came in 9th of all afternoon talk shows in the entire United States. This is why we came in 9th, because of you.
Once KU beats Utah on Saturday, they'll also be ninth in the country. So we'll have a lot in common.
Here, you see what I mean? Here you go. More nonsense is what it is. More absolute nonsense. Coming up on the other side, I'm not excited about the halftime show. Let's talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
It's the final football Friday of the year, and as we've been telling you guys all week, it's the last call for football, and FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. Today's 30% profit boost is first quarter markets, alternate passing, alternate receiving, alternate rush yards. So maybe you think the Patriots are going to get off to a good start and Travion Henderson is going to dominate the first quarter. Maybe you like Cooper Kupp to get the first catch of the game. Make sure that you opt in each day, place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost token. So whether you're locking those early lines, you're riding with your favorite props, or you're taking that final swing before it's all over, remember that FanDuel is giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. So play your game with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issue non-withdrawable profit book token. Restrictions apply, including all token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The big game is here, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Right now, New England is trading at 32% to beat Seattle. A $100 trade pays out $289. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade 100. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Shawnee Mission Ford. We've got Kansas side of things, 70 eastbound, the on-ramp from 78th. Be prepared to tap your brakes. Move to the right through here. Downtown, that stall, right lane is closed. Wrecker on the scene, though, 70 eastbound at Brooklyn. Delays in the area. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
We talked about this before, but let's talk about it again. I am not interested in this year's Super Bowl halftime show. I could not name a single Bad Bunny song. I don't listen to Bad Bunny. It's not my kind of music. But that's okay. I firmly believe that right now we live in a time in music that is more fractured than ever before. We used to all listen to the same handful of radio stations that shaped our taste. We used to watch the same 2 channels to hear music on television that shaped our taste. That's not the case anymore. Rob, you and I both have streaming services. I'm going to guess that if we look at the last month, the kind of music that I listen to is radically different than the kind of music that you listen to, even though we both are on the same app and having the same experience. I don't know if there are enough artists in 2026 that are capable of doing a Super Bowl halftime show. Not everybody's good enough to do it. Not everybody has the catalog to do it. Let's take a current popular artist, Sabrina Carpenter, for example. You ain't been around long enough to get this opportunity to do the Super Bowl halftime show. Put some more music together, be popping a little bit longer, and maybe we can have this conversation a couple more years. You also have to be willing to do it. They've asked Taylor Swift to do it. Now, also not my kind of music. I wouldn't be complaining if she did it. I understand she's the biggest musician in the world. They asked Adele to do it. Adele didn't want to do it. So we're running out of people that we think are this caliber of artists that we know we're familiar with their music that want to do it. And I understand that sometimes it's just not going to be for me. You know when I also wasn't interested in the halftime show? When U2 did it. Or Bruce Springsteen did it. I wasn't going to complain about it. I just wasn't going to watch it. I guess this is the part about the whole halftime conversation that confuses me the most is, how many times do you sit around and watch halftime anyway? I'm just going to guess that during halftime, you just do other things most of the time. Maybe you sit around and watch the analysts, they tell you what they think, you watch the highlights, but most of the time you get up and you go do other things. I don't know why that's so difficult for people now in this one. That's what I plan on doing. I don't have any interest in watching this. I don't know if we're going to talk about it on Monday. It's okay. I can accept that this just isn't for me. And as I was going back and I was looking at the last 10 halftime shows that we've had, they've had some that I've been very interested in and some that I wasn't. We had Maroon 5 a handful of years ago. Do you remember anything about the Maroon 5 performance? I really don't. I think Travis Scott came out and they played some music that was on like SpongeBob or something. I don't fully remember it, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about Maroon 5. I even like some of their songs. This love has taken. I like a little Maroon 5. I can't tell you a single thing about Maroon 5's halftime show. Don't remember it. I don't even remember where that Super Bowl was, to be completely honest with you. I like The Weeknd. I've taken my sister to go see The Weeknd. Wasn't a big fan of his performance. Not at all. Very weird. They had Coldplay. I don't listen to Coldplay. It's okay if you're not into this year's Super Bowl. Do something else. They got Puppy Bowl. They got an alternate halftime show. Remember when they used to have Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV, little claymation during halftime? Just find something else to do for the 20 minutes. You'll be fine. I got no issues with that.
I would guess, and I'm not trying to, I agree with you. I'm not excited for the Super Bowl halftime show. Most years, I'm not excited for the Super Bowl halftime show. It is what it is. I was excited for the Dr. Dre one.
I was very excited. It was great.
I was excited for Kendrick Lamar, but there have definitely been ones where I've like, Remember when the Rolling Stones did it? I don't care about the Rolling Stones. You like Rihanna more than I don't dislike that Rihanna did it, but I wasn't like jazzed up for Rihanna. It was kind of like, cool, Rihanna's doing it. So Bad Bunny's not for me. I agree with you 100%. But I think if you're Bad Bunny, you have to accept that you're not a popular pick, and he's going to put on a performance with a lot of other celebrities to try to garner some positive vibes, like a better term, right? It's like, I'm not going to tell anyone to don't watch it, but I just would assume the same noise you and I hear about the halftime show, Bad Bunny's heard, and he might go put on an interesting performance. But doesn't mean the music has to be for you. Like, one year, The Who did it. I don't like The Who. I don't
even know who The Who are.
It doesn't mean The Who. It doesn't mean I was like, I got to find an alternate broadcast. I just watched The Who for the 14 minutes and I went about my business.
And this is where I just talk about how, like, I think music is a little bit fractured. Someone on the text line says, at least everybody in the world has heard of Taylor Swift. I've never heard of Bad Bunny until now. I would just like to point out, for as popular as we know Taylor Swift is, more people streamed Bad Bunny's music on Spotify last year than streamed Taylor Swift, and she had a new album last year. Just think about that. One of the biggest albums ever released. More people stream Bad Bunny in 2025 than stream Taylor Swift. So again, if you don't listen to Bad Bunny, I'm not telling you start listening to him. I'm not listening to Bad Bunny. I don't care about this. But let's not make it seem like Bad Bunny is not a great selection for the Super Bowl halftime show, and B, a really popular artist. He is. You just don't listen to him, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine.
I would argue, and I'm trying to defend Bad Bunny. I would argue that that's kind of always how the halftime show is. I would bet, I don't remember last year, but I bet there's a large sect of people who were like, man, I don't like Kendrick Lamar. Basically, all of Canada felt that way. Toronto.
Say Drake.
Everyone who calls himself OVO, not a fan. But you know what he was? The most popular Spotify artist last year. This year, I don't listen to Bad Bunny. It's just not for me. Mostly because I don't know what he's saying. I don't speak Spanish. It is what it is. But you know what? There is obviously a group of people who clearly love Bad Bunny because he's number one on Spotify. So people are like, oh, he isn't popular. Actually, he's very popular. It's just not with the sect that you run with, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a lot of other stuff. He was in Happy Gilmore 2. He's done some stuff for WWE.
He was very funny in Happy Gilmore 2.
He was very, very funny in there. So, yeah, shout out to Bad Bunny, man.
I like him on SNL, but...
Yeah, I hope he puts on a good performance, man. I mean, I'll keep an eye on. I mean, I'm not going to be sitting there intently watching it like before. Like, there have been some halftime shows I'm like, hey, I'm not doing nothing during this. I really want to see Dr. Dre and Snoop and all them. This Bad Bunny, when it's going to be out, yeah, you know what? Why not move around? Why not figure out something I'm going to do?
You're not going to sit there and boo the television?
No, I'm not planning on it. I'm not planning on it for the halftime show. Let me play this for you. This is our dear friend Nick Wright. Listen to what he said about Drake May.
If the Patriots win and Drake May plays well, you will have people understandably arguing he's the best quarterback in the league. And that's fair. The Patriots have played a murderer's row of defenses, and their quarterback has looked like it. A guy who led the league in completion percentage, falling to a completion percentage lower than Shedeur Sanders this season is stunning. But if in year 2, you're a top 2 MVP finisher, and then you win the Super Bowl and you play well in the Super Bowl, absolutely no one will care that he struggled in the 3 playoff games beforehand.
We talked about it. This is the legacy part of this conversation. This seems very, very simple to me for Drake May. You got one game to become a legend. You still might become a legend, but I mean like instantly. If you win a Super Bowl before the age of 25 years old and you're an all-pro before the age of 25 years old, like if we go on the list of quarterbacks that have done that, it's going to be a real small list of people. We're talking Patrick Mahomes. We're talking a very small list of people. All-pro before the age of 25, Super Bowl champion before the age of 25. It's a real small list of people. You got a chance to be in that conversation. New England does not pull off this upset, they do not win this game without you playing incredibly well against a defense that everybody respects. This is a go get your respect kind of game. Very rarely can you say nobody believes in us if you went to the Super Bowl. I mean, they're in the Super Bowl. They can play the nobody believes in us, no one is picking us. And they're right. Who's picking New England? And we can talk about it coming at the top of the hour. Why would you pick New England? What are the reasons you are picking New England? Because a lot of times when we do these things, we do a tail of the tape. Oh, their quarterback. We do coach. We want to break down the things. I really, really struggle to find out today if your stance is, I think New England is going to win the Super Bowl. I think you really, really will struggle to describe the why you think that's the case. We're going to head to New England coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, continuing to get you ready for Super Bowl 60. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
We've got a crash show later. That's a 2-car crash, 35 southbound just past 119th. Left lane is blocked. Over Blue Springs, 70 eastbound past Little Blue Parkway is the right lane blocked. I'm Bow with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, let me tell you guys about our friends over at Gates Barbecue. I know you plan on watching the big game, and I know you plan on having an amazing spread for the big game. So why not include Gates Barbecue? Go stop by any one of the Area 5 locations and pick yourself up a party tray. You're going to have a big game party. You need a big game party tray. So it doesn't matter if you got a small gathering of people coming over. It doesn't matter if it's like a medium size of people coming over. It doesn't matter if your place is going to be the place to be. So you got to grab a couple of those presidential platters. If you plan on enjoying the game and you plan on enjoying your meal, make sure that includes Gates Barbecue. Maybe you plan on throwing something on the grill. The weather's actually pretty decent outside. Might actually be worth to throw a couple of slabs of ribs on the grill for the weekend and for the game. Well, be sure the next time you're at the grocery store to pick up some of the classic Gates sauce. Also pick up some of the classic Gates season the next time you're at the grocery store. It's Carrington Harrison here from The Drive, telling you that whatever your big game plans are, make sure they include our friends over at Gates Barbecue.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
You've got a big day.
So you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player in the big game to score the first touchdown, but his teammate scores instead. That sucks. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the big game, and if you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line with BetMGM's second chance. Try a first touchdown scorer wager with confidence today. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, coming up in about 15 minutes, we are going to head to Boston, Massachusetts to be joined by Adam Kaufman to get you ready for Super Bowl 60. I'm going to attempt to make the argument on how the Patriots win this game. Now, I think I've been very clear this week in my commentary towards it. I don't think New England can win the game. I think Seattle can lose the game. It's the National Football League. If this was week 11, no one would be surprised if, let's say, this was an international game, a neutral site game, if the Patriots beat the Seahawks on 2 weeks preparation. No one would be stunned by that. It's not the biggest upset that we've ever seen before. So there is absolutely a pathway to New England winning this game. I think the ways that New England can win are this. They need the Drake May that played during the regular season to show up. That's simple. They have to have the quarterback advantage. Drake May has not played well this postseason. But the guy that narrowly missed the MVP, who completed 72% of his passes, threw for 4,400 yards, 31 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions this year, and had a 113 quarterback rating, I think it was Matthew Stafford. But I believe you could make the argument that Drake May was the best quarterback this season in the regular season in the National Football League. I don't really think it's that hard of an argument to make. They need that person to show up. If that person doesn't show up, then it's going to be a very boring Super Bowl, at least from one perspective. So that's number one. If you are a Drake May believer, hey, now's the time to show and prove. Go get him, young man. You're going up against the best defense in the National Football League. Go get him. With 2 weeks to prepare and watch film, and you were with a coach who has played in this game before and an offensive coordinator who has been in this game as well. You got two guys who are going to show you the ropes and help navigate you through this in a way in which you can have success. I also think for all the conversation that there has been about Seattle's defense, and they're statistically the number one ranked defense in the National Football League. There is a lot of reason to talk about their defense. I don't know why we're acting like the Patriots didn't have the fourth ranked defense in the National Football League. They have a great defense as well. They have a great defensive mind as well. Now, I know that I have done a complete 180 on Sam Darnold, and I was hating on the kid for the longest amount of time, and now I'm coming out on the other end. Hey, maybe he's kind of good. But if you are still holding out a little bit of hope, or you don't believe in Sam Darnold, and you feel like he is a guy that will give a couple of turnovers, if you think he's a guy that will put the ball on the ground or leave a couple balls to chance, we've seen that over the course of his career. Even this season, he was third in the NFL in interceptions. I think that's the how they do it. I think the how they do it is They need to have the quarterback advantage, and they need the Drake May that was in the MVP conversations to show up because he has not shown up at any point in the postseason. They need that defense to be a top 5 defense in the National Football League. And maybe this is just, I don't know, cliche, and it's just an easy thing to say. If you're Vrabel and you're Josh McDaniel, you really got nothing to lose in this game. Like, this is when you really get creative and you got to take chances and you just got to be the more aggressive team because in some ways it feels like you're a little bit outmatched in some ways. So maybe you got to go for it on a 4th and 2 in which you would normally punt it, but now you're going to try to be aggressive and you got to try to turn the pressure onto Seattle. I don't believe that these players live in a silo. They hear what the rest of us are saying. The Patriots are very aware that none of us are picking them to win. And Seattle is also aware that everybody is picking them to win. Seattle is very aware of the schedule that New England has played and thinking they've never played a team like us. The Patriots, conversely, also know that none of us think they beat good teams this year, and now they're finally going up against a good team, and there's a chance they get ran off the field. They got phones. They got social media. They got family members that have communicated this to them. They know how we feel on the outside world about this game. So if you're the Patriots, you got to let them hang a little bit in this game. Now's when you do a fake punt. Now's where you do a trick play. Like, you got really nothing to lose. We were talking earlier about the Philly special. Man, when you got Nick Foles in the Super Bowl and going up against Tom Brady, and it turns out to the shootout the way that game is, man, you got to call a play that is deep in the playbook that you feel like you can execute and can run and that you feel could be the difference in the game. And that's what I think New England has a chance to do.
I understand your point. I really do. But I'm one of the people this feels like Seattle in a walkover. And one of the reasons I feel that way is I just feel like Seattle is so much more talented than New England. Just 2 through 53. If we took coach and quarterback out of the equation, I don't know there's a single position group where you would say, oh, I think New England's better than Seattle there. And that's not to say New England's not a good team. They're not the 4th best defense, but Seattle's just better. They're checking more boxes. And I think sometimes it's not just how you're playing, it's, how well you're playing at that time. Not only do I think Seattle's more talented, they're playing a lot better football right now. New England, you could argue, is playing their worst football of the season. The Chargers game, okay, that defense slugfest, I get it. But the Texans game at home, you needed CJ Stroud to forget what color his team jersey was to have a chance, and you barely beat Jared Stidham. And by the way, I know they won 10-7, and everyone's like, oh, let's see, they gutted out a victory. Their 7 is because Jared Stidham fumble, backwards pass, gave them 7. Like, they were in a bad way to a backup quarterback in a blizzard. So I think not only is Seattle more talented, they're playing better football, and they're peaking at the right time. For a March Madness analogy, sometimes it's not the best team in the country that wins the tournament. It's the team that's playing the best at the time. And I feel like right now, Seattle's the most talented and playing the best at the absolute right time.
Someone on the text line asked about this. Someone said, on your FanDuel ads, you said that you bet on the Patriots to win the Super Bowl, but yet you're picking Seattle. That is true. I have a 13-1 bet that I placed whenever gambling was legal in Missouri. I placed a 13-1 bet on the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. I have now hedged and cashed out. So, yeah, at this point, honestly, I don't care who wins the Super Bowl. I don't care who wins the Super Bowl. But, yeah, I had a free $60. They were giving out those bonus bets early on. I picked one team in the AFC to go to the Super Bowl. I picked one team in the NFC. I bet on New England. I bet on San Francisco. New England has now made the Super Bowl, and now I have hedged on the other side, and I've bet Seattle to win this game just because I've just, at this point, I refuse to leave with no money. I refuse to leave with no money, especially when I have money on the team that is the decided underdog in this game. I'm cashing out. Please give me my free $300 and I will go. I don't care who wins. I don't care if the game's competitive or not. I won the Super Bowl. That's how I feel heading into this one. That is absolutely how I feel in this one. I want to play this for you. Let's take another trip down memory lane. Cooper Kupp, he shouldn't have won MVP that year.
Stafford from under center, steps back, throws the fade, back shoulder. Cooper Kupp's got it! Yeah!
They should have gave that one to Aaron Donald.
By the way, I pulled the radios. Play-by-play there.
I figured.
You should have heard how bad Al was. Oh, Al was like, pass, caught by Kupp, touchdown. Al, there's 1:15 left in the Super Bowl, and they just took a 3-point lead.
I've been telling you, Al been cooked for a minute.
I get why NBC heard that and was like, oh, boy, it's Tirico time.
We got to get him out of here. No, I'm with you. This just popped in my mind. Do you think that the Super Bowl is going to be on streaming soon, like in our lifetime?
Oh, yes, 100%.
I think so, too. I think at some point in our lifetime, and I would say probably at some point in the next 10 years, Netflix or Amazon is going to drop off an insane bag for the Super Bowl.
I mean, I know we haven't really touched on it all that much. The owners want to renegotiate the TV deals now.
Yeah, probably because of that. Yeah,
if you're Amazon or Netflix and they're willing to renegotiate, we're willing to get involved, but we're not taking Christmas Day anymore. We're taking the Super Bowl now. That's our, and maybe if your local team's in, they'll put it on like your
for sure. They'll do that. But yeah, I firmly believe at some point, I would say at some point between now and let's say 2040. So let's give it a little bit of reasonable time, 15 years. I absolutely believe that Netflix and the NFL or Amazon and the NFL are going to reach the craziest rights deal that we have ever seen for access to the Super Bowl. 100%. They're clearly trending in that direction.
Will that burst the bubble?
It's the Super Bowl. People will do whatever.
Because I feel like we talk about the NFL is kind of bulletproof, but I feel like the streaming thing could be a problem for fans. And
I think the argument's going to be simple. Who doesn't have Netflix? Who doesn't have Amazon Prime at this point? That's going to be the argument. Now, if they put it on Peacock or something, that's a different argument. But yeah, at this point, you're right. The NFL can do whatever. Tomorrow, if they announce that, the argument from, I think, a majority of fans is going to be, shut up, we already have Netflix. What does it matter? When people start complaining about it, 100%, that's what people would argue.
Let me ask you this in the same vein. What happens first in our lifetime? A Super Bowl abroad or a Super Bowl on streaming?
Streaming. Yeah, streaming.
Do you think an abroad Super Bowl is coming, though?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
I agree with that.
Probably.
I actually think abroad is coming before streaming.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think a lot of that, honestly, I would argue is probably venue related. Like, do they think those venues are big enough to be able to hold the Super Bowl? But yeah, I mean, they're not doing all of these international things without, I think, an end game. Like to me, the end game is we're trying all of these different markets for the opportunity to put this game on. Now, time zone, I don't know all of that. Like, you got to find the right time zone and put it, reasonable time for us. I don't know how that will work. But yeah, I absolutely believe in our lifetime, one day the Super Bowl will be in Paris. The Super Bowl will be in Germany. And it will be this is the culmination of the worldwide event. Like, everything they've been doing is leading towards a couple of things. Everything they've been doing is leading to streaming having much more of a say. They bend over backwards for streamers. And, I mean, you could maybe argue it starts with Bad Bunny. Like, to pick a non-English speaking, like, primarily in his music artist and picking that person to be the halftime entertainment, they are telling you at every single turn, the international market is something we are aggressively trying to acquire. They have sold Americans as much football as they can. They can't sell you any more football. You devote your life to football. Every single Sunday for 20-something weeks, you are on the couch watching your team. You will do whatever. You will sit outside in freezing temperatures to watch your team. You will do whatever it takes to watch your team. We got you hooked. We got you hooked. They are trying to get the rest of the world hooked. What better way than to give them the biggest thing that you can give them, and that's it. I mean, the same way WrestleMania just moved, and yeah, at some point, they are absolutely taking their biggest entity and moving it over there, 100%. Coming up on the other side, we're going to head to New England and be joined by Adam Kaufman, who covers the Patriots. How does it feel to be such a massive underdog heading into the Super Bowl? Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
This Sunday, Redfin is kicking off an even bigger game, Daring the Big Game. They are giving away $1 million home in an epic, never-been-done-before scavenger hunt, all on the Redfin app. So watch closely. The home is hidden in the Rocket and Redfin's commercial Daring the Big Game. The winner will be the first to solve 6 clues and find the $1 million home on the Redfin app. So download or update the app today to play Redfin's Great American Home Search presented by Rocket Mortgage. No purchase necessary. $50 USDC. Must be age of majority. Visit thegreatamericanhomesearch.com for the official rules.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy bold strips that heat you up. served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Swisey menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable. You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
You can swirl it, you can sip it, but the best way is to share it. Hey y'all, I'm Deanna, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You get that bold flavor of the Coke mixed with the smooth deliciousness of the vanilla ice cream. You have a juicy filet and a smooth, creamy float. It's an awesome pairing.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Thank you for a great 2025 and promise to continue giving you reason to shop at Shawnee Mission Ford in 2026. Great selection of new and used vehicles, large discount, top trade allowance, and mobile service when you need it. There's no reason to go anywhere else. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more in 26.
Here's Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
This one brought to you by Shawnee Mission Ford. Olathe, that's a crash. 35 northbound before Santa Fe. The southbound side affected as well. Crash, State Line. 435 eastbound just past State Line. Left lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's go to the phone lines right now to be joined by Adam Kaufman. He has been our Patriots representative through this run. He is with Nesson, getting you ready for Super Bowl 60. Adam, man, really appreciate your time, and I know this has been a busy week for you.
Buddy, I am standing here at the dead center heart of Media Row, in between chasing down this guy, that guy, you know, which was not even an intentional John Gruden impression, but I'm looking at him right now. Cam Newton and all of these people that are just in and out. It's a circus. I mean, you know, from the many times that you have covered this event with the Chiefs, it's you spend a lot of time talking about everything but the game itself. So excited to be here with you.
Absolutely, man. So let's just start with this. You know, covering the Patriots, you're used to everybody picking your team to win the Super Bowl. What has it been like where everybody seems like they're picking Seattle to win this game?
So you left out a word. I'm used to everybody begrudgingly picking my team out of, you know, not wanting the Patriots, but simply believing it's the right side. Not unlike how a lot of people obviously have looked at the Chiefs in recent years. But to your point, this year, yeah, the vast majority, I'm not going to say, you know, some guests of the dozens that we've talked to haven't picked the Pats. I mean, it's not like it's been universal, but yeah, you look at a lot of the national networks and some people have aggregated the totals and said, you know, whatever, 86% of people believe Seattle's going to win, whatever the number. It's true. It's overwhelming. Now, that said, I wouldn't say I've talked to a lot of people, even if they like Seattle, that like the Seahawks in a blowout, let's say. I think a lot of people do expect it to be a closer game, and they just look at the Seahawks and say, this is the better team. And it's, you know, if I'm removing bias, it's hard to disagree with that. I mean, the best offensive player on the field on either team, bar none, is obviously the offensive player of the year in the NFL in JSN, who is exceptional. So a lot of the question will be on the Patriots' defensive side is how do you go about covering JSN? Can you take him out of the game? And by that, I don't mean truly take him out, but, you know, I think that definition in a game like this is like, does he have 5-6 catches for, you know, 75, 80 yards, maybe one touchdown, or is he going to go for 12 catches and 150 and score multiple times and all that? So it's all relative. It's just, you know, all due respect to Kenneth Walker, this is a phenomenal run defense on the Patriots side, provided Robert Spillane is healthy anyway, and he seems confident he's going to play in this game. And so from there, to me, your weapon is obviously JSN. You know, I'm not as concerned about Sam Darnold beating the Patriots by himself the way I would with maybe certain other QBs across the league. I think Darnold is very understandably dependent upon his superstar player. And so if you can find a way, whether it's, you know, blanketed coverage or man with Christian Gonzalez, a Pro Bowler, you know, however they go about doing it, you know, if you can slow him down, I think you got a good, strong chance to win this game. Never mind the obvious, you know, can you get Sam Darnold to turn the ball over once or twice? That would be the dream if you're a Patriots fan. But I do think, independent of who wins this game, and obviously I believe in the Patriots and I'm rooting for the Patriots, I think it should be a close game, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, which also flies in the face of what a lot of people around here are saying. For some reason, a lot of people believe there's going to be a lot of points in this one, and I think it's more like one team in the 20s and the other in the teens.
Right now, we're talking to Adam Kaufman, who covers the New England Patriots, getting you ready for Super Bowl 60. Adam, you said that. I think it's very difficult to pick the Patriots to win this game on paper. Like, if we were doing a very simple tail of the tape, I think that Seattle has a lot of the advantages. But this is the National Football League. The Patriots are a good football team. You've had 2 weeks to prepare. No one would be surprised in a Week 11 international game on a neutral site if the Patriots beat Seattle. So take us through it. You watched every Patriots game this year. Tell us how the Patriots win this game.
Well, I do think it comes back to Sam Darnold. If you can force him into a mistake or two, and that's it sort of sounds like this wing and a prayer type of approach, but I do think the turnover battle is going to be very important in this game. These are, again, two phenomenal defenses. You have Seattle, who was, number 6 this year in terms of, total defense, but the number 1 scoring defense. Patriots obviously just went through 3 of the top 5 defenses to get here in the Chargers, the Texans, and most recently the Broncos. That's, again, it comes back to why I believe this is going to be a lower scoring game. But if you can force him into mistakes and capitalize, whether that's a short field that maybe you can put points on the board, or obviously if you can get a scoop and score or a pick six, I think that's ultimately going to be the thing that, does decide this. You don't want to be reliant upon it, but to your point, Seattle is top to bottom the stronger team. Even if I want to give an edge of, let's say, you do the OC QB tandem thing. Like, do you think Josh McDaniels paired with Drake May is superior to Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold? I do, and I don't think that's a hot take. But everything else around you, that's, I think the offense, there's a lot of, push elements along that offense. The defense, though, is undoubtedly, at least depending on, potential injury in the secondary, stronger on the Seattle side. And so I think it's the turnover battle that ultimately decides this thing.
Right now, we're talking to Adam Kaufman, who covers the New England Patriots. You talked a lot about Sam Darnold here, and I'm with you. If the Patriots are going to win this game, they need to force Darnold to have at least 2 turnovers. And that's not a crazy opinion, given he was 3rd in the NFL in interceptions this past year. But I feel like on the other side, with you guys quarterback, with Drake May, they need regular season Drake May to show up. He had a disappointing postseason. Now, they played in some tough conditions. They played some good defenses. The weather was terrible. But to me, if New England's going to be able to pull this off, you don't need Drake May to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he's got to have like 240, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions to win this game. And he just hasn't played like that so far in his 3 postseason starts.
Yeah, I mean, not only do you not need it, he generally speaking doesn't do it, right? Like that's not who Drake May is. You don't get too many. He only late in the season had his first career 300-yard passing game. So he's not going to blow up the box score the way a Tom Brady or some of these other guys would. But I think to your overall point, he can beat you methodically, right? As long as I think the big thing with him, like you said, you talked about the defense, you talked about the weather. I think it does leave out the fact that he had some really strong second halves in some of these games. So kind of made the big play when he absolutely had to, which, is commendable, obviously. But, I think that for him, and there will be not that I would do this anyway, but there'll be no weather excuses or anything like that. Like, it's going to be a beautiful day in Santa Clara. I think the thing that, I go back to is, who are your chain movers? Obviously he's got an incredible deep ball, and there's the potential for those, home run plays to a Kyle Williams or, potentially a Kayshon Boutte or that sort of thing. But I just think what you need to do in a situation like this is, where are the 6, 7, 8-minute drives that, you just take time off the clock. You get a whole bunch of first downs. It's Drake May scrambling for some. I think his legs are going to be incredibly important in this game. Hunter Henry in Seattle is not good against the tight end position. In fact, bottom 5. He needs to be a chain mover. Obviously, Ramondre Stevenson needs to be a chain mover. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Travion Henderson, but to whatever degree we do, you need him to, attempt to be that guy that can explode and get you big yardage, because the opportunities are going to be limited. And then we'll see what Steph Diggs gets you, who's a little bit inconsistent. The thing, Mac Hollins, not to, I'm just naming guys, I realize, but Mac Hollins is in some ways arguably the most important pass catcher on this team. He was the guy, when healthy during the regular season, that, was a go-to for Drake May, was reliable, was sure-handed, wasn't dropping balls, was able to, he's a tall guy, was able to get it over the top. It's going to be ultimately a versatile, well-rounded approach. It has to be for the Patriots to win. They can't lean and key in on the 1 or 2 guys, or they would stand no chance.
Right now, we're talking to Adam Kaufman with Nesson. He covers the New England Patriots. A couple more questions here. Adam, I've argued this week that I feel like we've talked more about the the old Patriots than the new Patriots. We've talked more about their team in 2016 than the one in 2026. A lot of Belichick conversations, a lot of Brady conversations this week, a lot of Robert Kraft. Has it been the exact same thing for you guys? I feel like we've spent more time talking about the Hall of Fame in the process than we've spent talking about Christian Gonzalez, for example.
Well, without a doubt. I mean, honestly, look, guys, if I'm ranking the top storylines this week or over the last couple of weeks, Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer is insanity. Like I want to sit here and curse up and down about it, not because I feel wronged, but because I just think it is so incredibly stupid. I mean, how does a Hall of Fame exist that coaches are a part of where Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer? And then obviously you have Robert Kraft, the owner, once again not being elected. And, then you fast forward to last night, Drake May misses out on MVP by one vote, co-MVP anyway, by one vote with Matthew Stafford. Now, I know a lot of people believe that Stafford was going to win, but for him to lose by a vote, and then you find out, someone went with Justin Herbert, like it feels like the world is upside down. And obviously all the Malcolm Butler and Deflategate and all of these things, like these are the storyline. Nobody's talking about this game. I mean, it sounds kind of insane, I realize, but, the storylines of the Hall of Fame and the MVP and Tom Brady saying he doesn't have a dog in the fight after he won 6 championships and played 20 years for a franchise that put a freaking statue up of him outside the stadium. The only one that exists, by the way. It's not a parade of statues. He's got the only one. So, these are all of the things that are just so overwhelmingly the talking points out here and in this couple-week run-up to the game. It's not the game. It's not Christian Gonzalez. It's not who's going to win. It's not Drake May going to get his first. It's not Sam Darnold going to, really, punctuate just this incredible, Disney movie story from where he was earlier in his career to now, and whether we need to reassess how we evaluate young quarterbacks and our timeline, our patience and threshold and everything. It'd be nice if it was a little bit more of the game. And to that point, Mike Golick Sr. was on my show the other day, and we were doing this. I was asking some of these guys, hey, you're bouncing from table to table, and what, you're talking about this, you're talking about that. Let me ask you, what do you want to talk about? What is it you wish people would ask you about? And he goes, to be honest with you, can we talk football? Can we talk about the game? Because nobody wants to talk to me about the game. I just want to talk about the game. So it feeds into your point. It's just not that big a deal right now out here.
I'll get you out of here with these last 2 questions here. Obviously, Drake May needs to play well. He's the starting quarterback. Give me one guy on New England that absolutely has to play well if they're going to pull off this upset. Give me an X-Factor guy. You mentioned Mac Hollins, for example. Give me an X-Factor guy where he can have 60 yards rushing. He can have 70 yards receiving. He maybe makes a big play on defense that can turn things for New England. So give me one guy that absolutely has to play well. Give me an X-Factor guy as well.
Boy, I would say an X-Factor guy could be Travion Henderson. I think he's going to get very little opportunity in this game, very little. But if he is able to capitalize on it, and what I mean by that is, he can't go out there and have, 5-7 carries and average, 2.4. If he can have a 50-yard carry that again, just gets the Patriots an incredible field position, or maybe it's even a touchdown run or catch and run or whatever it is, that feels like a guy that could just break this game wide open for New England if the opportunity is there, one, and if he actually is able to deliver on that promise. So that's a guy that I look at on the offensive side, and that's maybe a less obvious one. I guess the more obvious one would be someone like a Mac Hollins. This could be a game where Mac Hollins has 7 or 8 catches and 100 yards, and that shouldn't surprise anybody because of how much Drake May really leans in on him when he has the opportunity to. So those are the 2 guys that I look at in particular.
That is Adam Kaufman joining us on the show today. He covers the Patriots for Nesson. Adam, enjoy the Super Bowl, man. Appreciate your time.
I'll enjoy it if they win.
Absolutely. That is Adam Kaufman joining us on the show today. I can't be mad at that. Yeah, it's definitely much more enjoyable when the team that you are covering, when they win the Super Bowl. Rob, do you agree with those two players? A player on New England that has to play well outside of their quarterback, a potential X factor player that if they're going to pull off the upset. So in a Chiefs analogy, it would be a Demarcus Robinson, a Sammy Watkins making a big play against Richard Sherman down the sideline. Do you agree with those two players? Who do you think somebody like that is? Who's a guy who has to play well? Who's a potential X factor for New England?
So I agree with Matt Collins. I was very surprised to hear Travion Henderson. Now, maybe I just haven't, he watches the Patriots way more in depth than me, but I felt like Travion Henderson was coming on strong and kind of asserted himself.
He's been bad in January. Yeah, really bad. He ran for 27 yards against the Chargers, 25 yards against the Texans. He had 3 carries for 5 yards against the Broncos. Like, they've just really gone with Stevenson. They've gone with the experience. Now, you're right. Like, Henderson had a great start to the year, but maybe it's a rookie wall. I don't know what it is, but they've really decided to go with the more experienced back down the stretch.
And the reason I said I was surprised with that is he did have the good start. And also, he definitely has the home run ability of the two running backs. Like, Ramondre Stevenson is not going to take a 3-yard play and turn into 30. If Travion Henderson gets a crease, he can make something special happen. I was unaware of his January stats being as just awful as they are, but I was surprised to hear what I think is running back one go out there and be a, X factor type. I actually think maybe this is, bad by me. I think Hunter Henry is the X factor type.
Not bad.
Like, we know Josh McDaniels' offense. It has evolved over time. It does like a nice tight end. Rob Gronkowski's in the Hall of Fame now because of it. Like, so do I think it's going to be, he has 6 for 105? No, but could I see him making a few chain-moving first down catches that keep drives alive and give Drake May a chance? Yeah, like those are my two X-Factor guys, but I was startled to hear Travion Henderson's name.
I think Hunter Henry is a real sneaky first touchdown play. Real sneaky. Patriots get the ball first. They go down the field. They score. We look up and we think, oh, man, this might end up being a game. I think Hunter Henry's a real sneaky first touchdown play. We've been going back through time and looking at some of the most memorable Super Bowl moments. You guys certainly remember this one.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal. Malcolm Butler, who almost made the phenomenal play that wound up in Percy's arms. There are flags on the field for a celebration. Amazing.
Am I the only one that thinks that wasn't a bad play call? I know the result. We've all seen the play a million times. On second down, the last thing that you are thinking is that the ball is going to be popped up in the air and intercepted. We see slant plays at the goal line all the time. I just think we saw an incredible defensive play. One of the best defensive plays we have ever seen before. Like, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. I believe they would have ran the ball on third down. I also think they would have went for it, and I think they would have ran the ball on fourth down too. On second down, throwing that little quick slant, I don't think is the absolute worst thing that could possibly happen. Because in most of those scenarios, the ball just gets batted down and it's an incompletion and we just move on. That's just the one time that we saw the defensive player, just completely broke on the ball and made an improbable play. I never hated the play call. Never hated the play call. And I don't think the play call was wrong, even though the result was wrong. Where are you at on the fourth down or the play at the goal line?
So I think the play call is wrong, but not for the reason everyone else thinks. Everyone else thinks hand to Marshawn Lynch, scored a touchdown, and I get that. I think the play call is wrong because one thing that I think Patriot and Seahawks fans remember, but it's kind of forgotten to history, is the clock is running. And if the Seahawks score, they basically take the lead to win the Super Bowl. The clock is running. Belichick did not call a timeout. If you run the ball again, even if you're stopped short, the clock is now your best friend. You're going to have 2 downs to score a touchdown. The reason I don't like the play call isn't just the outcome. It's that, let's say it's a regular incompletion. You basically gave Belichick and Brady a stoppage of play. I would have run the ball strictly to play the clock. So the fact Pete Carroll threw isn't surprising to me. I just thought it was surprising considering your biggest strength in that moment is not the ball's the 2-yard line. Your biggest strength is the clock is ticking, and any time you have for Belichick and Brady is a problem. And it obviously worked out terrible for everyone involved.
Where would you rank this Super Bowl moment all time?
In the gun, Steelers show blitz. Here they come. He gets it away, and it's picked off at the goal line. There's a flag thrown on the run back. James Harrison to run it back, and Harrison is past midfield. Harrison going down the sideline. Harrison still on his feet. Harrison is going to go all the way and waiting for the official to get there. Touchdown is signaled.
Where does that rank in terms of like all-time plays? Because we are 17 years removed from the James Harrison pick six against the Arizona Cardinals. Like, I'm trying to think over the last 15 years or since this play's happened, how many plays I would deem to be bigger than this one. But, I mean, in that moment, the just massive swing of momentum. And then you get a drive from Ben Roethlisberger, Santonio Holmes, incredible play from them. Where do you put the James Harrison pick six?
I probably have it higher than most people because I think it's weirdly forgotten by history. But remember, the Cardinals made a furious comeback in the second half, and it took a game-winning play by Santonio Holmes to win that Super Bowl, but it felt like if that play doesn't happen, the Cardinals are scoring some points, and it's tied at half, and we don't know what happens from there. I think it's one of the most impressive defensive plays we've seen in a Super Bowl, at least in my lifetime. Like, it is a pass-rushing linebacker dropping back into coverage, making an interception at the goal line, and scoring going the opposite direction. That would be like if Justin Houston made this play for the Chiefs in 2018. Like, it's just very rare. I think it's weirdly forgotten to history, but it seems like an enormous play at the time.
I know this is unrelated to what we've been talking about, but related to that game. I know we talk a lot about Kurt Warner with the St. Louis Rams, and we should. The fact that you just come out of nowhere and win NFL MVP is pretty remarkable. Man, we don't talk about that 5-year stretch in the middle. I mean, from ages 31 to 35, Rob. So for over a 5-season stretch, Kurt Warner went 8-23 as a starter and threw 27 touchdown passes over a 5-year stretch with 30 interceptions. He was terrible for 5 years. And then at age 37 years old, he completes 68% of his passes, throws for 4,500 yards, 30 touchdown passes, has a 100 quarterback rating, and takes a second team to the Super Bowl. We talk about how miraculous the first Super Bowl run is for Kurt Warner. We don't spend nearly enough time talking about the second one with Arizona, or I guess third one. The third one with Arizona is as crazy as the first one is when you look at his career and the arc that it was going down. We'll continue to talk Super Bowl. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
The final football Friday, and as we said all week, it's the last call for football on FanDuel, and they are giving you a daily profit boost every single day as we get closer and closer to the big game. Today's 30% profit boost is on the first quarter markets, talking about alt passing, receiving, and rushing yards. Maybe you think the Patriots will come out and they'll try to go deep. Maybe you like the over on Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs, or Keyshawn Boutte. Or maybe you think the Seahawks will come out big with Kenneth Walker and you like his over. All you have to do is opt in each day and place an eligible bet for that day's profit boost. So whether you're locking in early lines, riding your favorite props, or taking one last big swing before the final whistle, FanDuel is giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. So play your game with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60 and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen up, folks. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you about the good folks over at Daisy Dips. Daisy Dips makes the delicious Daisy French onion dip and the Daisy Ranch dip. Daisy Dip starts with America's favorite sour cream and is made with the real ingredients that you can find in your kitchen. I'm talking real herbs, real spices, with no preservatives or any artificial ingredients. Plus, they go great with everything, from chips to wings to veggies. So look out for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
This one brought to you by Shawnee Mission Ford, Olathe. That's a crash. 35 northbound before Santa Fe. The southbound side affected as well. Crash, State Line. 435 eastbound just past State Line. Left lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
All right, we'll get to very serious things about the game coming up in just a bit. I want to throw some non-serious things out there. Rob, I am going to start the Super Bowl Commercial Hall of Fame. The same way that you and I were debating if Luke Kuechly should be in the Hall of Fame or Drew Brees or Larry Fitzgerald, we should have a Hall of Fame for Super Bowl commercials. You guys remember a couple of years ago that Tubi ad that looked like the Roku home screen and it was moving on its own? Now, I don't know what kind of Super Bowl party you were at, but I'm telling you, I remember, like it just happened. People that I know, people I've never heard use profanity before, people I've never seen be upset, they were cursing out the host of the Super Bowl party like he had committed the most egregious sin. And then the gotcha, the prank, the joke of, oh, it was a commercial and the laughter from everybody, that deserves to be in the Commercial Hall of Fame. You remember back in the day when everybody was saying, what's up? That deserves to be in the Super Bowl Commercial Hall of Fame. Do you guys remember Terry Tate, office linebacker? That deserves to be in the commercial Hall of Fame. The legendary Budweiser Clydesdales, the Budweiser Frogs. These are Hall of Fame Super Bowl commercials, Rob. Is there a couple that you would like to suggest? If we are starting it right now, we're going to build a nice little facility here and people can just walk around and watch some of the great ad campaigns of yesteryear. What would you like to nominate for the Super Bowl commercial Hall of Fame?
I don't know if there's a specific one, but you got to have the Budweiser Clydesdales in there, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't know if there's a specific commercial. Maybe it's the one where they're playing football.
That's a good one.
But I feel like you can't have the Super Bowl and not have the Clydesdales. So that's all in the Hall of Fame for sure. I'm trying to think. So the Larry David crypto commercial is hilarious, but that company went under because it was a scam by what's-his-face. Does that count? Because the commercial itself was hilarious, but the company kind of went under. Like the same way, remember the first year that GoDaddy commercial started popping up?
I do. Remember that, Danica Patrick, wasn't it?
And it was like, what is GoDaddy? And the commercial is so memorable because what is GoDaddy? But I don't know that company exists anymore. How do you handle that? I also think, and it was a disturbing commercial, Puppy Monkey Baby was weird, but also
I don't remember
it. So it was one I have to commit to memory. So those are the ones I think maybe those are Hall of Good, but I definitely think they are part of the conversation.
So I'm looking right now, and Daily Ranker, they did a top 5 Super Bowl commercials. So number 5 was the McDonald's commercial, the horse game between Michael Jordan and Larry Bird.
That's it, yep.
Number 4 was the Budweiser Frogs. Number 3 was the What's Up commercials. Number 2 was the Mean Joe Green Here Kid Catch with the Coca-Cola.
Before our lifetime, but I get it.
And then 1984 Apple Computers. That is what they have as the number 1 Super Bowl commercial of all time. So that's Daily Ranker. Don't be screaming at me. Just telling you what Daily Ranker had. That's what they have as the top 10 Super Bowl commercials. Let me give you another list. This is according to Instacart. Do you use Instacart, Rob? You seem like an Instacart family.
No. I like being inside the brick and mortar at a grocery store because I'm a loser.
Okay, so these are the 5 most popular items according to Instacart for this season. Number 5, canned diced tomatoes.
Rotel.
Yeah, I don't know why we're doing. There's other brands.
I mean, maybe you get the knockoff, like I shop at Hy-Vee, the Hy-Vee version.
I'm just asking. There's other brands.
Yes.
Rob, hold on. You're not getting the...
I get the Rotel, but that other brands exist is my point.
We're saving money on the cans of Rotel by getting the store brand. We can't spend the extra 10, 13 cents. How much of a difference could it be? Those cans of Rotel are $2.
Didn't you tell me earlier your math rolls for the hot dog price raise?
Okay, let's move on. Why are you going to say that to now upset me? You know I'm upset about this. You know I'm upset that last year we had $13 days, and now we only have 6 this year. We're losing recipes over at Kauffman Stadium.
I'm just saying, inflation's hitting everywhere. Maybe we gotta get the regular diced canned tomatoes.
I'm for real. If you pull up at the function and you bring 2 store brand cans of Rotel, I gotta ask you to leave.
If it's already in the cheese dip,
I
gotta
ask you to leave. Come on now.
If I never told you, I don't think you know the difference.
I don't care. I gotta ask you to leave. You got the store brand. You got to get the yellow can. Or they got the green. You got to get the yellow or the green can. You're telling me you're getting the market fresh Rotel? Come on now. You got to do better. You got to want better for yourself. That's number 5. Number 4 is salsa. You know what I love?
Yep.
A good pace. I love a good pace. Give me a little pace.
I don't like pace. I don't like chunky salsa.
Yeah, give me a little pace.
I like a restaurant style salsa.
You know what I do like? Now, I don't know who had this idea. But there was somebody that worked at the chip factory, and they had an idea of making a bowl into a chip. They were like, hey, we've been breaking off chips for far too long. What if we took this Frito and we made it like a mini spoon and we made it like a bowl? I don't know who that person is, but I'm telling you that person should be the CEO of that company. I can't think of a better... It's incredible. I love the little scoops. You get you a little scoop, little paste. Oh, we going crazy. Number 5 is canned diced tomatoes. Number 4 is salsa. Number 3, ranch dressing.
Yep, that adds up.
Number 2, potato chips.
Yep.
And number 1 is regular tortilla chips.
Yep.
Very versatile. Very versatile when it comes to anything. That's a good list. People are doing a good job.
Ranch also versatile.
Now, this is where I get a little confused. This is where I'm always confused. This is a Two Americas show. Number 6 is puff chips. I don't mind a good puff chip. Number 6 is puff chips. Number 7 is scallions.
Yeah.
Folks are eating scallions for the bowl?
No, it's like a lot of things that you cook have scallions in it.
Like what? I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know what am I eating at the Super Bowl function?
Buffalo chicken dip has
it does?
green onions, yeah.
That's a scallion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was about to hate. My bad. You know what? I like a scallion. My bad. I'm sorry. I was ready to start hating.
You have it at number 1. I'm like, scallions, green onions, spring onions, whatever you want to call them. They're in that.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking scallops. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they got to be cousins in some way. Scallops and scallions. They definitely related to each other. You said a scallion. I'm like, hold on. Who's in here getting scallions? Get that scallion away from me. Then I Googled it. I was like, oh, I love a scallion. Actually, put a little extra scallions on mine.
Now, I would say bringing a scallop is what?
That's what I thought at first when I read it. When I read it, number 7, it says scallions. I'm like, yo, what y'all got going on over there? And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Let me apologize. I went to my default. I was ready to start hating immediately. My bad. I apologize. Number 8, Roma tomatoes. Number 9, queso. Number 10, French onion dip. Those are the 10 most popular things on the Instacart. So happy Super Bowl for you and yours. And you know what? I think I just want this year's Super Bowl function to be a lot better than last year's. Last year's was miserable. Nobody had fun watching the Super Bowl last year. Saw people crying. People were leaving at halftime. I don't want that. I just want a good, competitive game. I don't care who wins. I don't care who loses. I just want a good, fun, competitive Super Bowl. Coming up on the other side, I have 5 questions to get you ready for the Super Bowl. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5, The Fan.
Good news, the crashes in Olathe, both directions 35 affected. You are unwinding. They are gone. 2-car crash still working, though, down at 435 eastbound past State Line. Left lane is blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5, The Fan.
Let me stick to the rivers and lakes that I used to. You know what that is? That's telling you about Gates Barbecue. Now, earlier I told you about the party tray. I absolutely would encourage you to go get the party tray. But maybe you're not going to go party tray for this thing. But you know what every big game party needs? Every big game party needs the chicken wings. And right now, they got a 12-pack of wings. They got a 24-pack of wings. And you know they come with those delicious Gates fries. Get you those Gates fries. Put a little bit of seasoning on there. I'm telling you, they're going to be an absolute hit at the function. And if you're thinking of dessert, because after you get done with the pizzas and the barbecue, you got a sweet tooth. Stop by Gates Barbecue and get you one of those yammer pies. Rob, if you really want to turn your big game party upside down, walk in there with some yammer pies. I'm telling you right now, your uncle, he's never had anything like it before. You can also stop by and get the classics. You can get a party tray. You can get a mixed plate. You can get some of the burnt E-Mac, a great side that would go great for the big game party. Whatever it is, whatever your big game plans are, make sure they include our friends over at Gates Barbecue.
This hour is brought to you by State Water Heater and Reeves Weideman online at rwco.com. Need a water heater? State Water Heaters has the solution. The Adapt Gas Tankless Water Heater with X3 scale prevention delivers efficient, on-demand hot water with no annual maintenance and may qualify for money-saving utility rebates. Ask your plumber for State at Reeves Weideman. Visit rwco.com or statewaterheaters.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel despised the word empty. Empty plates, empty tables, empty stomachs. That's why he made the KFC $5 bowls, like the famous bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, crispy chicken, corn, gravy, and cheese. Because the only empty the Colonel liked was when you reached the bottom of that bowl. The Colonel lived, so we could chicken. 5 KFC bowls for just $5 each.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The big game is here, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Right now, New England is trading at 32% to beat Seattle. A $100 trade pays out $289. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade 100. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Fellas, listen up. It's 2026, and this is going to be your best year yet when it comes to sex. You know why? Because you're finally going to take the advice and try chewable tablets from Blue Chew. Blue Chew's tablets help you feel and perform at your best, stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk in a gym membership. Be more confident where it counts. Blue Chew is a small chew for a big difference. You'll have flashbacks to your glory days, and dating that's just got longer and better for everyone. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient for your individual prescription. Just like how we love to watch the athletes that we root for show up during the game's most exciting moments, you should be able to show up when it matters during life's most exciting moments. You can discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use the promo code KFNZ at checkout. You just got to cover $5 for shipping. That's it. Go to BlueChew.com, use the promo code KFNZ, and get your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Hey, Royals fans, it's Vern, and the Hot Stove Show is back Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
I can't even wish you congratulations on getting your 9 to 5. This is why. Somebody reminded me of this, and I honestly had tried to forget it. I would say that I get emailed by the Royals. Rob, would you say maybe like 2-3 times a season? They get mad at something I say, and that kind of just comes with the job, you know? Like I can't worry about that at this point. Like, it is what it is. Be better. So I was a little bit surprised to get the email from the Royals in February. Usually that's like a May kind of thing. That's a June kind of thing. Not really a February thing. This is why. Did you guys see what they're doing on Buck Night? I don't care the Super Bowl is coming. I don't care. Buck Night's more important. If you're like me, you grew up on a Buck Night. I remember being at Kauffman Stadium back in 2003 when the little Royals, who nobody believed in, got off to one of the hottest starts in baseball. It was a Friday night. I can't remember what team they were playing. I think it was like the Orioles or something. It was Cleveland. I don't remember. But the Royals were 9-0, and they had a home game. It was a Friday night, Buck Night. It started raining that day. My hot dog is getting all soggy. You know what happened on that day? Ken Harvey hit a walk-off home run in the extra innings, and it was one of the greatest times I've ever had at a sporting event. I love Buck Night. Who doesn't? When we were coming up, you guys remember Buck Night? You could get a hot dog for $1. You would get a bag of peanuts for $1. They also used to give you a small drink for $1. Oh, I used to go crazy on a Buck Night. Now I get it. Things change. They can't do it. But then they moved it to every Tuesday home game. Not as great, but, you get good midweek series all the time. Last year, the Yankees were in town. Jack Caglione Day was on a Buck Night. You could go see the hottest prospect in baseball and get you a $1 hot dog. It was great. I loved it. You guys see what they're doing to Buck Night this year? $1 hot dogs, first Tuesday of the month. That's it. Last year, they had 13 Buck Nights. Now they only got 6. They only got 6 Buck Nights? I love the Glizzy. Why are we doing this? John Sherman, come on now. Come on. Why they emailed me, let me pull it up here. They emailed me because I tweeted it. And I tweeted at them, what are we doing? How much do we think that these $1 hot dogs are costing the Royals throughout the course of the season? $100,000? John, you ain't got that. You can't hit up Patrick Mahomes. Hey, man, do this for the people. They hit me up because they wanted you guys to know all the other great deals they have. Let me unball up the paper. This is what they got. Let me unball it up. Hey, Carrington, we just want to let you know that we offer fans every home game a value menu with hot dogs, beer, soda, pretzels, popcorns for $5 or less. We also have the Sunday 4-pack, which offers 4 tickets, parking, 4 sodas, and 4 hot dogs for $80. We also have the Fountain Pass, a couple other things. All of those things are accurate, and they're great. I'm all for putting more money back in the fans' pocket when it comes to parking and concessions and beer. I'm always going to be on our side. Why are they messing with $1 Dog Night? Come on, John. Brooks. Somebody over there. Who else do we know? JJ. Come on now, fix Bucks Night. Go back to how it was. And if it's not going to go back how it was when we were coming up, you're not going to give us certain Fridays, then at least just make it every Tuesday home game. Do I think that Buck Night is really moving the attendance? Do I think they're getting 10,000 more people out there because it's $1 dogs? No, but you know what? It just makes us feel good. And that's what we need. We just need to feel good. This is a slippery slope. I'm not even sure if Buck Night is going to come with them to the new stadium. Come on, man. John. I can't even call you Mr. Sherman. Come on, John. You got to fix this. Please go back to how it was. Please. I'm serious. Please go back to how it was. $1 hot dogs, first Tuesday of every month. So I just wanted to give you guys that update. I promise you we'll get to the Super Bowl. I don't want to just spend the entire 5 o'clock hour complaining. You just got off work. You want to be in a good mood. I also want to be in a good mood, but they're taking what else can they take from us? They already took away the Krispy Kreme promotion. You guys remember back in the day when you used to park at Kaufman, the parking thing used to be a buffet to Harris. You could go in and get you a nice little buffet. They're taking all the cool things away. Come on, John. This isn't why we bought the Royals, to take away the things that we love. Could be better. That's all I got.
What's it that Michael Irvins used to say? We're losing recipes.
You're losing recipes. No, for sure. We're losing recipes. All right. I won't talk about it anymore. I just had to tell you guys that what they're doing to Buck Night. Somebody said they got to pay for the new stadium somehow. Trust me, the money they're saving on the hot dogs is not paying for their new baseball stadium. Just give us the dogs. That's all we want. All right, Rob, hit the button.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington Harrison Hits brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas, and ranked #1 in return on investment among private universities in Kansas. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
All right, Rob, let's go through some of the questions that I have for the Super Bowl. Let's go back and forth here. You can fade down the music. Shout out to Baker University. They would never raise the prices on hot dogs. This sounds very obvious, but I think it is very important in this game. I think it's very important in this game. Can Seattle get out front early? Because if Seattle gets out front early, I think you might need to go ahead and tell your kid to grab their coat, and I think you might be going home from the function earlier than you did last year.
Earlier than last year?
I don't think that this New England Patriots team is built. If they get down 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, if New England plays as poorly in the first quarter of this game as they did in the Broncos game, we got a long night coming. I don't care how good the commercials are. It will not be able to save this game if they play nearly as poorly as they played in the first quarter of the game. This Patriots team has to start soon. And if you are Seattle, that's how you got to be thinking. We think we can break this team early. We think with our defense and their young quarterback, we think we can break you down early. Can Seattle get out front early and just make this not a game in a boring next 45 minutes? So that's number one. Number two, and a lot of my questions here are honestly directed more towards New England because I think they just have more questions to answer than Seattle because we think they are overmatched in this game. Can you turn Sam Darnold over a couple of times? It sounds crazy to think this in the Super Bowl, but this does feel like a little bit of any given Sunday. You and I talked about this yesterday, Rob. What was the last Super Bowl team that you think that this Patriots team would be a favorite against in the Super Bowl? So I don't care AFC. I don't care about that. They would not be a favorite over any of the teams that Kansas City has sent to the Super Bowl. They wouldn't be a favorite over either Eagles team, either San Francisco team. I don't think they'd be a favorite over Cincinnati. Like, the public would side with Joe Burrow in that situation. I think you have to go back to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Nick Foles team. I think you have to go back that far, not the Jalen Hurts team. I think you'd have to go back to 2017, the last time that this Patriots team would be a favorite over one of the teams that participated in the Super Bowl. I think it's very, very difficult on paper to communicate why you are picking New England to win this game. One of the ways that they can win this is making Sam Darnold play like Sam Darnold. He was third in the NFL in interceptions this year. If this game is played even in the turnover differential, I don't think there's any way New England wins. If this game is 0-0 or 1-1 in the turnover differential, I think Seattle won that game. I think New England has to be in the positive when it comes to turnover differential. +1, +2, etc. I think they have to be in the positives. Can they turn Sam Darnold over? My next question is, how real is New England's defense? Because if there is a side of the ball, so Seahawks offense, Seahawks defense, etc., if there is a side of the ball that should feel like it is being disrespected, it is New England's defense. They're not being talked about at all heading into this game. They were fourth in defense this year. Now, the team they're going up against was first in defense. They're the fourth-ranked defense in the National Football League, and no one talks about it, no one cares. How real is New England's defense? Can they cause disruption? Can they force those turnovers we were talking about? Can they get off the field? Because I'm looking at this Seahawks team. They got weapons. I like their tight end. Kenneth Walker's a very good running back. They got the best wide receiver in the National Football League. There's a lot of things to like about this Seattle team. You got to get off the field. And I saw Buffalo, who I don't think has nearly as much as what Seattle does. I saw Buffalo just, when healthy, throw the ball all over this team and score a bunch of points. I think it goes without saying, this game cannot be played in the 30s. That is not a game that I think New England wins in that scenario. How real is New England's defense? Because we've seen this from a team in the AFC East. This is usually the Buffalo Bills special. Buffalo's defense loves to beat up on those teams, the bad quarterbacks. And then when they start going up against the big dogs, they usually expose themselves. This year, that team was New England. We beat up on teams that are lost at quarterback. We took advantage of this schedule. They did what they were supposed to do. How real is New England's defense? My next question is, are we going to see regular season Drake May? Regular season Drake May gives you a legitimate chance to win this game. This season, Drake May completed 72% of his passes, threw for 4,400 yards, 31 touchdown passes, and had a 113 quarterback rating. He was phenomenal this season. In the postseason, he is completing 55% of his passes and has an 84 quarterback rating. Our dear friend Nick Wright said this about Drake May yesterday.
In the last 30 years, the second biggest drop-off from regular season passer rating to postseason passer rating in the last 30 years is Drake May these playoffs. In NFL history, the biggest drop-off from regular season completion percentage to postseason completion percentage is Drake May these playoffs. Drake May, in 17 regular season games, turned the ball over 11 times total. In 3 playoff games, has turned the ball over 5 times total. Drake May, in 17 regular season games, had 8 fumbles. Not lost, just total fumbles. Drake May, in 3 playoff games, has 6 fumbles. Now, those regular season to postseason drop-offs, some of that is a testament to how exceptional he was in the regular season. There is no doubt about that.
That was our dear friend Nick Wright on his podcast. I mean, are we going to get regular season version of Drake May? If we get regular season version of Drake May, we got a Super Bowl. It's going to be a lot of fun. If we get the playoff version of Drake May, they about to get they boots smoked. And that leads me to my last question. As boring as it may sound, can the Patriots block up front? Because I'm just going back to the last game that they played. Rob, I didn't see them have any ability in blocking Denver. Like, not a one against them. Drake May was constantly getting hit, was constantly being brought down. If that's the case, then we're wasting our time. We're wasting our time. Go there for the fellowship. Go there for the friendship. You are not going there to see a good football game. Not at all. My questions are simple. Is Seattle going to get out in front and play with the lead and play in command? If that's the case, I think this game could get ugly. Can the Patriots force Sam Darnold to turn the football over? How real is New England's defense? Can the Patriots protect their starting quarterback in a way that they did not in the AFC Championship game? And are we going to see the regular season version of Drake May? Much more of my questions are directed towards New England because they're the decided underdog in this game. Seattle, it's very simple. Keep being you. You're the better team. If you keep being you, you win this game. If you continue to run the football effectively, your quarterback doesn't turn it over, JSN is the best receiver in the National Football League, and you got the best defense, you win this game. And you probably win this game 31-20 and cover easily if that's the case.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
And maybe my question is directed at people like me, but that's not here or there. Everyone all week's been talking about, well, Drake May's been so bad in the postseason, so bad in the postseason, so bad in the postseason. Your question is fair. Can he get back to regular season Drake May? I mean, he was one Sam Munson vote away from being a split MVP last night. If Sam Munson hadn't voted for Justin Herbert and voted for Drake May, it's a tie. They split the MVP. I don't know how that works. He was great in the regular season, but terrible in the postseason. Why are more people not talking about how that's kind of how Sam Darnold is? Not that he was bad in the regular season. I don't want it to come off like he was terrible, but he had a little bit of a problem turning the football over, and in the postseason, he just corrected it. He just doesn't have that problem anymore. Now, part of that's because the Niners game was never competitive, but he did not turn the football over at the same rate. Why are people just assuming, oh, this is the real Drake May, and this is the real Sam Darnold, and no one thinks the regular season version of those players can return? It's because I guess the Seahawks played 2 games, Patriots played 3. It's not like we have a huge sample size in the postseason.
I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. We live in a what have you done for me lately? It's been a while. Think about it. Now that we are all like, you're not caught up in all the noise of the season. You're watching the Patriots now on a week by week by week basis. You're not distracted with your team. Drake May ain't played well in a month. In a month. So some of it is just what have you done for me lately? You know, that game in which Drake May threw 3 touchdowns against the Jets in week 7, you were not watching that. Your team was playing. So I think that's a big kind of reason of how we got to this point with Drake May. Absolutely. I will say this about him, and you can hit number 2 if you want.
Number 2.
Are you with me in, I think there are 2 legacy kind of questions here at play. I think there's 2 legacy questions. Number 1, let's say if the Seahawks win this game. They're the favorite. They're the better team. Let's say they win. If they end up winning this game, I think we will look at Sam Darnold like he's Joe Flacco. I don't think we're going to look at him like he's Brad Johnson. He's much better than that. I don't think we're going to look at him like he's Trent Dilfer. I don't think he's that. But if you were trying to find the quarterback comparison over the last 20 years, I think the answer is going to be Joe Flacco. We all think Joe Flacco's good. I mean, no one thinks he's elite. No one thinks he's great. He's not going to the Hall of Fame. But everybody acknowledges that Joe Flacco is a good starting NFL quarterback. That was with the right organization. They ran the football well. They played great defense. He made a big-time throw against the Broncos. They advanced. We all agree. Everybody is on the same page. I kind of think that's how we're going to look at Sam Darnold. I don't think Darnold wins 2 or 3 of these. We ain't talking about one day we're going to be having a conversation, is he going to the Hall of Fame? I don't think we're talking about that. I think we're talking about a one-off. That's what I think we're talking about, a one-off. This isn't going to be a series. This is just a movie that was good for when it was there. This is Wedding Crashers, Napoleon Dynamite, a movie that just fits the era. They didn't keep making more of them. They just had the one. Oh, it was great.
They are making more Wedding Crashers, by the way.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. They've been talking about that for 7 years. I don't know if they're making more. Napoleon Dynamite, then we'll use that as an example. Super bad. It was a good one-off. There is no super bad 2. So that's on one side. On the other side, I mean, we're talking about this with Drake May, and I want to play what Nick had to say on this as well, because Nick and I agree. Right now, I would say that the top 5 is pretty solidified. It's the big 4 that we all talk about in the AFC. We don't got to run through the list. And Matthew Stafford. Now, we don't got to argue about where you would put them, but I think those are the 5 best quarterbacks in the National Football League. If Drake May plays well and or they win this game, one of those big 4 got to come out. Because Matthew Stafford is not leaving. You don't have the season that he had. You win NFL MVP, and we're like, oh, well, you know, you're actually the 7th best quarterback in the league. No. You are in the conversation for best quarterback in the league. I'm not taking Mahomes out of my top 5. I'm not taking Josh Allen out of my top 5. I'm also not taking Matthew Stafford out. And I would say if Drake May wins the championship this year, he's 23 years old, and you just had the season that you had, Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, you guys got to figure this out, because I will not consider one of you guys to be a top 5 quarterback at the end of this season. No. That's not how this works. Especially Joe Burrow. You ain't even playing. You ain't even healthy. So I think what is at stake from a legacy standpoint for Darnold, I mean, it's just you become Joe Flacco. I mean, great. You know, nothing wrong with being Joe Flacco. I mean, whenever you're in the backyard and you're like, you know, taking my team down the field, like no one says, I want to be Joe Flacco. Like no kid has ever said that before. It's just not an exciting guy to be. You want to be Kobe. You want to be LeBron. Like nobody's like, oh, man, I want to be Joe Johnson. Like no one says that. Can't we be Tayshaun Prince? No. And then when it comes to the other side, when it comes to Drake May, I mean, people are going to look at Drake May like he's one of those guys if he wins this. If you're 23, I would assume if they win, he wins MVP of the game. So you were second in MVP, you were the Super Bowl MVP, and your team won the Super Bowl against the best team. Folks going to look at you like you were that guy.
If the Patriots win and Drake May plays well, you will have people understandably arguing he's the best quarterback in the league. And that's fair. The Patriots have played a murderer's row of defenses, and their quarterback has looked like it. A guy who led the league in completion percentage, falling to a completion percentage lower than Shedeur Sanders this season is stunning. But if in year 2, you're a top 2 MVP finisher, and then you win the Super Bowl and you play well in the Super Bowl, absolutely no one will care that he struggled in the 3 playoff games beforehand.
That was our dear friend Nick Wright on his podcast. I mean, you might disagree, and you might think there are quarterbacks who are better than Drake May. And you might be right. I'm not here to argue you. You might be right. 23 years old, second in MVP, All-Pro, potential Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion. You do that before 25. I don't want to hear about them Joe Burrow stories from back in the day, man. No, you ain't doing nothing now. I don't want to hear about that. He might, if he wins this game, he might already have more playoff wins than Lamar does. With 4, he might already have more. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I think that's what's at stake in this year's Super Bowl. Rob, you got hit number 3?
All I know is,
oh, my bad.
I'm going to feel like an absolute innovator, a leader in society if Drake May wins, and you're going to start joining that he's a top 5 quarterback brigade.
I mean, I got to give it to him.
Because all I heard earlier this week when I had him at 3 was, it's crazy. It's nuts. I can't believe Drake May at 3. You think this is the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL. How can you say that? Blah, blah, blah. He's 1 win away from you just being like, yeah, he's top 5. Like, that feels like splitting hairs, and it feels like if he's 1 win away from being top 5, he's probably already near or at the top 5. So my take wasn't as crazy as you're leading people on to think.
Yeah, well, if what you think they're getting their doors blown off, I will not be here on Monday saying, hey, you know that quarterback of that team that got beat 31-10? He's a top 5. I will not be saying that.
To be fair, you said the quarterback who got their doors blown off in last year's Super Bowl was really good.
All right. Why do you try to upset the text line?
That's just a fact.
You go out of your way to upset them for no reason.
The national anthem ended, and the best quarterback in the NFL got his boots smoked in New Orleans.
He did.
Kendrick Lamar, we hadn't even seen Serena Williams at the halftime show, and people knew the game was over. And everyone still has him top 5.
She really crip walked on Drake's grave and the Chiefs' grave at the same time. That's what she did. It was insane behavior. That's what it was. Insane behavior. All right, coming up on the other side, we'll talk about the other top story from yesterday. We figured out who's in the Hall of Fame. I also think we're getting a clear picture of who's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. We'll get to it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
It's the final Football Friday of the year, and as we've been telling you guys all week, it's the last call for football, and FanDuel is giving you a daily profit boost every single day leading up to the big game. Today's 30% profit boost is first quarter markets, alternate passing, alternate receiving, alternate rush yards. So maybe you think the Patriots are going to get off to a good start and Travion Henderson is going to dominate the first quarter. Maybe you like Cooper Kupp to get the first catch of the game. Make sure that you opt in each day, place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost token. So whether you're locking in those early lines, you're riding with your favorite props, or you're taking that final swing before it's all over. Remember that FanDuel is giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. So play your game with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issue non-withdrawable profit book token. Restrictions apply, including all token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel despised the word empty. Empty plates, empty tables, empty stomachs. That's why he made the KFC $5 bowls, like the famous bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, crispy chicken, corn, gravy, and cheese. Because the only empty the Colonel liked was when you reached the bottom of that bowl. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. 5 KFC bowls for just $5 each.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
When the cold sets in across KC, AB May is the trusted name for keeping your home warm, safe, and secure. From furnace repairs to system replacements, we deliver reliable solutions and unmatched care and professionalism. Whether it's a sudden breakdown or routine maintenance, AB May is here to help. Trusted by generations of Kansas City homeowners, we're committed to doing things the right way every time. Call AB May at 913-732-9993 or visit us at abmay.com.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel despised the word empty. Empty plates, empty tables, empty stomachs. That's why he made the KFC $5 bowls, like the famous bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, crispy chicken, corn, gravy, and cheese. Because the only empty the Colonel liked was when you reached the bottom of that bowl. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. 5 KFC bowls for just $5 each.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
This Sunday, Redfin is kicking off an even bigger game, Daring the Big Game. They are giving away a $1 million home in an epic, never-been-done-before scavenger hunt, all on the Redfin app. So watch closely. The home is hidden in the Rocket and Redfin's commercial, Daring the Big Game. The winner will be the first to solve 6 clues and find the $1 million home on the Redfin app. So download or update the app today to play Redfin's Great American Home Search presented by Rocket Mortgage. No purchase necessary. 50 USDC. Must be age of majority. Visit thegreatamericanhomesearch.com for the official rules.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Thank you for a great 2025 and promise to continue giving you reason to shop at Shawnee Mission Ford in 2026. Great selection of new and used vehicles, large discount, top trade allowance, and mobile service when you need it. There's no reason to go anywhere else. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more in 26.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
This one brought to you by DM Injury Law. Mike's got this. Blue Springs, very heavy out there. The wreck is cleared, but still a lot of backup. 70 eastbound at 7 Highway. Be prepared to tap your brakes. A stall before that. 70 eastbound as you approach 40 in the right lane. You've also got in the triangle 71 southbound the ramp at Blue River Road. You'll tap your brakes there. That's a 2-car crash. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
We've been doing recaps of great Super Bowl memories from yesteryear. You could argue that this is the #1 highlight of any Super Bowl.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet. Airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree. Inside the 25 and a timeout taken.
So that was the David Tyree helmet catch. One thing we were discussing earlier is if we just used our lifetime as the parameter, what would you say are the biggest plays in sports? The David Tyree helmet catch certainly would be a part of that. I think the David Tyree helmet catch is on that list. LeBron's block against Andre Iguodala is on that list. I would say the kick 6 against Auburn. I think there have been bigger. It happened in a regular season game, but just the improbability of it is just insane. And for #4, a lot of people were throwing in this play as something that would round it out.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal. Malcolm Butler, who almost made the phenomenal play that wound up in Percy's arms. There are flags on the field for a celebration. Amazing.
That was the Malcolm Butler interception, certainly one of the biggest plays that have happened during our lifetime. I asked Rob the question earlier, what's the first Super Bowl that you can remember? And this one was it.
Vinatieri. Kick goes to Desmond Howard at the 1. Desmond Howard is off. You better turn it on or he's gone. Desmond Howard all the way into the Patriot end zone. As soon as they get back in it, Green Bay takes it away. 99 yards. The longest ever in Super Bowl history.
I know this is going to sound crazy. Do you think we give Desmond Howard enough credit for the kind of football player he was?
No.
I mean, he has maybe one of the most iconic moments in college football. Like the first guy that I can remember that just did a magical play and then just did the Heisman pose and then won the Heisman the next week. He did that same thing in the Super Bowl. I don't think Desmond Howard gets enough credit for just how amazing he was.
Wasn't he MVP in that Super Bowl?
I got to look it up.
Because if he was MVP, how many guys win the Heisman and win Super Bowl MVP?
No, you're
not
right.
A lot.
That's
not a
fair.
lot of like. I'm trying to think. Has anyone done it since? Like Peyton never won a Heisman, so he would be out. Brady never won a Heisman, so he'd be out. Mahomes never won a Heisman.
He was the MVP that year of Super Bowl 31.
How many guys have a Heisman and a Super Bowl MVP? Like we don't really talk about that enough. That's a very, very elite group he's probably in.
No, I'm with you. Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, all pro, made a Pro Bowl. He won every college award and he won the Heisman Trophy. So yeah, you won every single college award. Desmond Howard, a great, great football player. I want to play one more of these because if the Patriots win this game, it'll be the biggest upset in the Super Bowl since this.
And they're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
And watch all the action. Foles is going to sneak over here, direct snap, everybody comes up, and here we go. What a play call by Doug Peterson.
I know it sounds very simple. I think that's the kind of stuff that you're going to need to do if you're the Patriots in this one. Like, you got to let them hang a little bit in this one. You really got to. You got nothing to lose. Just like that Philadelphia team, you had nothing to lose. You're going up against the Patriots, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. Like, you got to play with that kind of energy and to call that play in that scenario. And then to get the Patriots out of themselves. Like, they threw a pass to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Like, what? We saw Tom Brady playing 10 of these. We never saw a team do something like that. Absolutely not. So, yeah, that's what I think this Patriots team is going to have to do. I think they're going to have to challenge themselves in that way. All right, let's talk about the Hall of Fame. So, yesterday we went through the Hall of Fame. Let me pat myself on the back real quick. I got all 4 of them right. But more importantly than that, I don't think Eli's getting in. Not with this current group of players. I do not think that Eli is getting in. Have you guys seen the 2027 finalists for this thing? The 2027 finalists are absolutely stacked. Adrian Peterson, Rob Gronkowski, Richard Sherman, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Andrew Whitworth, who a lot of people probably aren't talking about, but probably should go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We're talking about some absolute dogs are up for, and some of these guys are obviously getting first ballot. Like Adrian Peterson's going in next year. Rob Gronkowski is going in next year. I would guess between Richard Sherman, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, one of those 3 guys is also getting in on the first ballot. There's also going to be a guy that's waited a little bit. Maybe that person is Eli Manning. I don't think it's going to be next year. Tell me when you think he's getting in, because I don't know if he's getting in this way. Now, I could see him getting in down the line, and the same way that Roger Craig didn't get in by the current player way and is now, veteran committee, a little bit of a different process. Also, side note here, you're telling me we did all that arguing about Belichick, all that arguing about Robert Kraft, and only one of those old guys got in? No disrespect. I'm not saying Roger Craig's like old in that sense. I just mean like we agree, he's not Cam Newton who's up for the Hall of Fame next year. There was only one of those spots available? Well, yeah, somebody was going to be mad. Maybe your argument is it shouldn't be Bill Belichick should be the one that's mad. I'm not faulting you for that feeling, but yeah, if that's the process we have for Bill Belichick is on that category. Roger Craig's been waiting for 17 years to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? And you're telling me that's what Vahe had to go up against was that guy or Bill Belichick? I kind of understand how Roger Craig got into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It actually makes a lot of sense there. But back to the main point here with Eli Manning, I don't know if Eli's getting in, man. I think there's a very good chance that Eli is just in the Hall of Very Good. And some of you don't even think he's in the Hall of Very Good. He's just in the, we did some cool stuff, and you did some cool stuff. Nobody can take away the David Tyree play. Nobody can take away those 2 rings. But if you think you're going to be considered in the same group as your brother or Joe Montana or Brady or those guys, I think the committee is telling you, no, if you couldn't get in this year, with a linebacker, a middle linebacker, not even a sack guy, a middle linebacker in Luke Kuechly and a kicker, if you couldn't beat either one of those guys out, yeah, Eli, it's looking real spooky.
I am very happy. Not that I hate Eli Manning. It's just his resume is not that of a Hall of Famer, and I want the Hall of Fame to be to the highest standard. I did think yesterday he would get in, and I'm happy I was wrong. So I looked this up today because I was like, all right, maybe his contemporary, Phil Simms, is in, and I just am comparing the two, and that's where I got the thought that he would be in. Phil Simms is not in the Hall of Fame. Now, Phil Simms, multiple-time Super Bowl champion, and was a Super Bowl MVP, multiple-time Pro Bowler. I'm not saying he and Eli have the same list of accomplishments, but they're pretty eerily similar. It's not the full Spider-Man meme, but it's Spider-Man meme adjacent. And Phil Simms is in the Hall of Very Good. You ain't in the real Hall of Fame. Is Eli Manning this generation's Phil Simms? Hey, you were great in the postseason. You won a Super Bowl in New York. Fantastic. But when we look at your body of work, you're not good enough. I hope that's how it ends out because his body of work is not good enough. And if you let Eli Manning in, to your slippery slope point, now it gets real tough to keep other people out. But I hope you are correct and Eli Manning is not in the Hall of Fame. I do worry eventually the name cachet of playing in New York eventually buoys him, but I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. And we all know, like, at some point there just becomes a log jam. There becomes a log jam. I don't know if it's ever going to be obvious that Eli should get in. I don't know if it's ever going to feel that way. Like, I'm taking a look ahead here really quickly to, like, who we think is going to potentially go in 2028. Like, I think we're going to start seeing very, very soon, it's about to start getting real spooky. I mean, so in 2028, that's the Tom Brady class. 2028 is Tom Brady and J.J. Watt. That's their class in 2028. I don't think he's getting in that one. In 2029.
By the way, it'd be hilarious if he would have Brady at the same time. I'm not saying he will, but boy, that would be 100%. Funny.
In 2029, that's Aaron Donald's class. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're starting to get real close. In 2030, if everything stays the way that it is, that's Julio Jones' class. That's Jason Kelsey's class. That's Zach Martin's class. If we're playing this thing out a little bit, like, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be tough for Eli to get in because, I mean, I'm also not mentioning, hey, this guy didn't get in on this class, so now he gets in on this one and all the politics and all the moving puzzle and things that go with it. It's going to be really tough. Rob, let's do this on the other side. Give me one bet that you love for the Super Bowl and give me a touchdown prop that you like as well. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
The final Football Friday, and as we said all week, it's the last call for football on FanDuel, and they are giving you a daily profit boost every single day as we get closer and closer to the big game. Today's 30% profit boost is on the first quarter markets, talking about alt passing, receiving, and rushing yards. Maybe you think the Patriots will come out and they'll try to go deep. Maybe you like the over on Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs, or Keyshawn Boutte. Or maybe you think the Seahawks will come out big with Kenneth Walker and you like his over. All you have to do is opt in each day and place an eligible bet for that day's profit boost. So whether you're locking in early lines, riding your favorite props, or taking one last big swing before the final whistle, FanDuel is giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. So play your game with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60 and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen up, folks. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you about the good folks over at Daisy Dips. Daisy Dips makes the delicious Daisy French onion dip and the Daisy Ranch dip. Daisy Dip starts with America's favorite sour cream and is made with the real ingredients that you can find in your kitchen. I'm talking real herbs, real spices, with no preservatives or any artificial ingredients. Plus, they go great with everything from chips to wings to veggies. So look out for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
This Sunday, Redfin is kicking off an even bigger game, Daring the Big Game. They are giving away a $1 million home in an epic, never-been-done-before scavenger hunt, all on the Redfin app. So watch closely. The home is hidden in the Rocket and Redfin's commercial, Daring the Big Game. The winner will be the first to solve 6 clues and find the $1 million home on the Redfin app. So download or update the app today to play Redfin's Great American Home Search presented by Rocket Mortgage. No purchase necessary. $50 USDC. Must be age of majority. Visit thegreatamericanhomesearch.com for the official rules.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The big game is here, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Right now, New England is trading at 32% to beat Seattle. A $100 trade pays out $289. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade 100. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. I love numbers. Like 100, as in 100%, as in TaxSlayer's 100% accuracy, guaranteed. And 0, as in $0, as in it costs $0 to file and get the refund you deserve with TaxSlayer Simply Free, if you qualify. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers with age, income, credit, and deduction restrictions. See TaxSlayer.com for eligibility requirements. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Kansas side of things, that stall still causing you to tap your brakes. It's onlooker delay, 70 eastbound, the on-ramp from 78th. You'll experience back up there on 70 Blue Springs. Very heavy congestion because that wreck has been cleared, but it's going to take a few minutes to unwind. 70 eastbound as you approach 7 Highway. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Rob, do you think this person is trying to be funny? I can't check tone and inflection via text. C-Dot, I thought Buck Knight celebrated Buck O'Neil, the Monarchs, and Kansas City's legacy to the Negro Leagues. Why would the Royals want to distance themselves from that? Do you think that person is being serious? I'm not even trying to be funny. What do you think?
I think if that mistake exists, I can see how someone made that mistake, but
Okay.
I don't think that person is serious.
All right. Just okay. Salute to the Nines, I would say, does all of those things.
I mean,
Buck Night is just them charging $1 for a hot dog.
Correct. It used to be more stuff, too.
Yeah, it used to be peanuts and a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just hot dogs.
But they do Dress the Nines Day. They do the Buck O'Neil Legacy Seat.
Yeah.
Buck Night is not about Buck O'Neil, but they do a great job of honoring Buck O'Neil.
Great. And the
Hall of Fame,
Royals Hall
Buck
of Fame as
O'Neil,
well.
yeah.
What did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
I was going to say, you beat me to it. Like, the Royals Hall of Fame also
Sure,
does
the
an
Royals Hall of
incredible
Fame is
job.
actually really, really cool. Really cool. If you, I imagine you've been there at some point in your life, but it's a good place to take somebody who is not from the city and it's, oh, you want to go to a Royals game? One of my friends came in actually from New York. He's a Mets fan. He tries to go to a stadium. This year, Coffin was on his list, and I got a chance to kind of take him around. I told you that story. And, I took him to the Royals Hall of Fame.
Shout out to Kurt Nelson. He did a great job with that.
Shout out to Kurt Nelson. Friend of the show, Kurt Nelson. He doesn't come on nearly enough, but we love Kurt Nelson.
Yeah. I mean, there's no disrespect to Kurt. Outside of the Hall of Fame class, why would we have Kurt Nelson on the show?
We got to figure out like a game to have, like test his knowledge or something.
Yeah, watch him smoke us in a baseball trivia game. That'd be fun.
Let's do it anyway. Let's have him versus Denny. That's what we need. Him versus Denny in a trivia game. That's what we need to do.
I would still feel inadequate just being like, I don't know any of this stuff.
That's what we need to do. Maybe the people at other place will be mad at me for saying this, but they know I love them. I got nothing but love and respect for them. Tonight, they are having karaoke night at the other place at Olathe and Overland Park. Rob, what makes you leave the function earlier? Is it live music? And I don't mean like a band. I mean like one guy playing the guitar singing live music or karaoke.
So the answer is live music, and here's why. If I'm at a place, let's take the other place, for example, and karaoke starts happening and my wife is with me, she's going to participate, which means we are staying at the function.
Okay.
I have it was the Penn State Oregon Big Ten Championship game. We went out to go get drinks and dinner and watch the game. I watched the game. At the end of the game, they were like, hey, we're doing karaoke. And I was like, well, we had fun. Let's get out of here, honey. She's like, oh, they're doing karaoke. We're staying. So what makes me leave faster is live music, because I'm not allowed to leave if there's karaoke.
Yeah, I mean, I think out of those two, it's live music. It's live music. The guy singing with the guitar, it's very rarely good. The karaoke, no one goes into it with the expectation of it being good. It can just be funny. There's no chance that live music guy is funny. Karaoke can be funny. You get up there, you really get into it, it's like, oh, okay, ha, 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 that was funny. Now, I can only do about 30 minutes of karaoke. I can't do too much more than that. Like, I don't have a night of karaoke in me.
I like karaoke in the fact where it's like you're at a bar and it's happening, you can kind of dip out. I wouldn't go to like an off key or something where it's like you have to book a room and just do karaoke.
I did do karaoke last year one time
with
my friend from New York. I did 2 songs. I did 1,000 Miles and I did Wonderwall.
You couldn't pick more polar opposite song. What Wonderwall?
You gotta know the audience. You gotta know the audience. I was like, oh, I know this song. I know some of these words. That's what it was. Yeah, I did 2 songs. I'm telling you, I did it. Right in Beers to You in Weston. Shout out to my people up there. Yeah, no, I did it. That's the only time. I can't think of the last time I did it. There's not a lot of scenarios I would agree to do karaoke. Not at all. Is this game going to be good?
I don't think so.
Okay.
My go-to bet.
Can you lie to me, please?
Can you lie? It's 5:52 and the week's over. The game is not going to be good. If the game's good, I'd be excited. But I feel like me and you are going to talk more commercials on Monday than we do game.
All right. I mean, I've already won the Super Bowl. I bet on New England to get to this point, and I've already cashed out.
Did you know the Super Bowl is an appetizer? Because Monday night, we get Koa Pete against Darren Peterson.
Okay. I'm actually
we should
trying
have spent all week talking about that.
I'm trying to
honest.
finesse my way in there, but the ticket prices are not. They're not. I actually do want to go to Kansas, Arizona. Do I got to call in the favor? I don't want to call in the favor.
You're gonna have to call in the favor.
I got to call in the favor. I don't want to do that. I'll just stay at home. I got to put in the call for a Kansas basketball game. I don't want to do that. I don't have any interest in doing that. All right, I look forward to being here on Monday, recapping everything that happened over the weekend. Take care of yourself, and until then, I'll let Daniel Craig take you home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.